Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of the GLP Report podcast live. This is week, I don't even know.
12.
12. Oh my god. Thankfully, someone is keeping count.
Unless the video was wrong that you posted.
It's definitely not 12, but it's something like that.
Okay.
It's episode 12, but it's not week 12 of lockdown.
Well, not for me.
There's never been locked down.
Yeah, I mean, here in the UK, we're still not sure if we're still in lockdown or not. I think we are. But let's not go there. Hi, everyone. We have the usual gang tonight. Jeff from GLP Town Square.
Hello.
Hey. Elliot from Elliot.
Hello.
Hi. Patrick from GLP Report.
Hi.
Oh, God. You okay, Patrick?
Yeah, whoa, should I not? I just had some green on me. That's
You're free. You're like one of the few here to be free.
yeah.
And also Viv is free. Hi, Viv.
Hi.
Viv went and got gelato today. I was so jealous.
God.
It was so good.
I don't even know what that is anymore.
It's ice cream. Good
Yeah,
ice
no, I
cream.
know.
Very good ice cream.
I think in the last however many weeks, I have gone as far as the grocery store and back. Like, this is life at the moment.
Right?
Yeah, I took one bike ride close to the center, and it was just kind of like, wow, what is this? What is all this? I forgot about all this.
They have trains and they go underground? What?
They have all those things.
And what are trains?
And Darren is back this week. Hi, Darren.
Hello, hi.
Hi. Last week you were
In
delivering.
Rotterdam.
You would, yeah. You wish,
I should have been in Rotterdam. We don't talk about that.
but you were delivering some
PPE to the
PPE.
people that need it. It's part of my job. Yeah, we have volunteered. So yeah, I've done my bit. So
Very cool.
Felt good.
Very good. PPE is one of those words that we just never knew we had to know, but now everyone knows what it is. Hey, you got some PPE? Yeah. So in Disneyland Paris news, absolutely nothing, right?
Well, no, there was something.
Don't be silly. We got the photo of the
David.
guy posing outside.
Oh,
Dumbo.
whoa. We also have David on the show, everybody. Let's not forget
Oh
David.
my god, I forgot David.
Don't put your crap on David this week, just because you pulled up 2 weeks ago.
It's normally Patrick,
Pull it
right?
tonight.
Usually I forget Patrick.
He's been David at home for too long now.
No, but he's still here, so he should get a hello.
I know.
Hi, David. How are you?
It's
I'm
David
only
at
one
home.
actual lockdown still.
I'm gonna start making a list, like a written list, because we used to have 3 people on this show, and now we have like I don't even know.
And everyone was in front of you.
You have most of the listeners now on the show.
I know. Hey, don't say that.
I'm joking.
No, we have plenty of people listening at home who are not on the show. And also, a lot of people are listening the replay show. So if you are listening on our podcast feed, welcome, hello. There's literally hundreds, because not everyone can be here on Monday night, even though, in the
What are
UK...
they doing? Do they have
well-
like lives and like plans? Because I would really like to know these people.
in some parts of Europe, they might, right? Yeah.
I'm so
Yeah,
jealous.
plans.
I hope all these
Varying
people that are
degrees.
listening back. I hope all these people that are listening back on like another day that's not Monday because they're busy on Mondays. I'm like, well done you. I'm kind of jealous of your life because you've got something else better to do on a Monday night. Well
Right, but I
done,
mean,
you.
some people might be like with family or doing...
Yeah,
You know.
that's great. I wish I could be like that. Well done, people.
I don't think they're like out clubbing or at dinner, out at dinner. Anyway,
I would like to just do something that's not sitting at home. That would be
I
good.
thought you were going to say go clubbing then.
Well, that too.
He'd even do that.
anything.
Yeah.
you can go
I'd
to
even
Hurricanes.
take going to a charity shop at the moment. Like, they're closed.
Yeah.
Sue is so angry. Poor Sue. She's being shut down. Hope you get the reference.
Nope.
So,
But that's okay.
listeners will get the reference.
All right.
No.
No.
I'm gonna send you some videos
No.
after this of the iconic charity shop Sue.
Oh
Right
yes. Oh yes,
Yeah.
I have seen on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok.
Yeah,
TikTok, is it a TikTok thing? I feel like
Yes,
it's a
she
TikTok.
is a TikTok thing.
She is a TikTok thing. So if you're not a TikTok kid like me, you might not know.
I don't do TikTok either.
You do. You should. You should. You should. I swear I only had one cocktail today.
The thing with like TikTok is you can
time
just
for another.
open the app, right, and then you just sit there for half an hour watching nonsense.
Oh my god, yeah.
But it's the best.
You fall into the TikTok warp. That's for sure.
And they make it so easy. Like you don't even have to do anything. You just swipe, and you've got a new video.
Yeah, that's true. So wait, Disneyland Paris news.
There is something.
Well, they've opened that corridor.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy that this is news, but you work with what you're given.
Do you want to know a fun fact that Jeff told me? In France, you have the legal right to go to the security guard if you're just passing through and skip the queue, and a security guard walks you to the other side.
This is a thing. Yeah.
Like,
well, I
on
don't
a
know if it's
normal
still a
day.
thing because there's an RER entrance now. But I guess it could be because now they've split the bus stop into two sides because reasons.
Yeah, well, because I think Disney just wants exclusive use of the train station side
Yeah.
for their hotel.
But then you have
buses
the
and all
old
stuff.
problem of. So the reason you can go through security is because they decided that Indigo parking, you had to be able to go to the train station from there. So they were like, okay, well, we want that extra RER entrance so that we don't have to let people through without going through security. So they built it.
Even though
And
who
then they're
parks
like-
there, like for all day to go to Paris? What is? Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. That was a ruling somewhere once upon a time. And so they built this extra entrance and they're like, okay, well, now you don't have to walk through. We can put out permanent security and great. And then they built an extra bus station and they kind of screwed themselves back up again.
Well, but
Because you
is a
still
great-
have to
I
go
love
to the
that.
TTV.
right. So if you take the bus and you get there, then and you need to take the TGV. Okay.
Yeah, and you can't have Disney just having exclusive use of the side with the train station because there's a TGV station there, so people might want to take the bus and go on the TGV.
Well,
So-
you might also just get through the damn Disneyland Paris security. It's not that invasive. I mean,
But you can't if you take through, say, alcohol. You will be
okay,
stopped
but I mean,
because you can't take through alcohol.
I actually think it would have made more sense for Disneyland Paris to take the side at the Indigo parking and have that as their bus station.
yeah, that would make more sense. Well,
But then you have all the other hotels. So like New
Yeah.
York, I know it doesn't need a bus, but hey, it's gonna get one. And Cheyenne, which
It's a long way
now
round.
having to
isn't
go
it?
the long way round.
yeah, it would be the long way around. Yeah.
And if you go to Sequoia Lodge, the way you would have to go to Sequoia Lodge now from the bus station is you would go, if it was a south bus station, I mean, you'd have to go up to that roundabout, the new one,
Then
and then
left.
go around it and come back. Like, you can't turn into it anymore.
Oh yeah.
I remember
no,
when,
but they
I
don't-
remember when
they-
Hotel New York had a bus.
It will get a bus again. It just
Well,
doesn't
I-
make sense.
I swear
No.
at one point they used to share a bus with Sequoia like it was New
It does, yeah,
New
it
York.
still does.
In
Yeah.
in the mornings, they share with Newport and Sequoia.
Do you remember when Lake Disney had a train?
Yes, it was fun.
Lake Disney used to have a train.
Yeah,
It's
like
like
a
one of those
little
little tourist trains.
a little
Oh,
mini
that-
train, like mini spring train, but not themed.
Good, and you would it would pick people up from the hotel.
It's like a really long golf cart, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and it would take you from because originally didn't they have boat service originally?
Well, the stations
yeah.
are there,
Yeah,
aren't
they
they?
did, yeah.
Outside each hotel, they had they've got the stations, which would have been the boat
Yeah,
servicing the
they're
boats.
still there
Hello.
on Newport and Sequoia. They're still there. You
Yeah,
see the little
that's
hut.
right.
yeah. I feel like
Because
that was
the-
such a good idea.
And they've already done the boat. They've already done the river up to where the third park would sit. Like you can see it on Google Maps that it goes all the way left at Newport and all the way up to where the site for the third park is.
But it's also the marina for the,
Yeah.
for the wonderful floats that we have for our shows on the lake.
But
At the moment, just those little water
Newport
tricycle
is actually
things.
a long walk. It's longer than it looks.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but
Well,
it's not.
I mean-
it's not a long walk.
it's still like 20 minutes.
Well,
Some
if you're
people
in a
think it
room,
is.
if you're in a room at the end
Well,
of the last hallway, then it's literally it takes you 20 minutes to get to the lobby and then 20 minutes to get to the park.
When you get into the hotel, yeah.
You need to leave like an hour before whatever your table reservation. If you're eating at Captain Jack's, which is kind of in the back, then you have to leave an hour and a half before your reservation.
It's true though.
If they
Been there,
close the
done that.
security tent as well,
I mean,
the event thing, you have to walk all the way around past Sequoia.
oh yeah.
Gosh, yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad if they had a boat service, but obviously that's low on the list of things for them to be paying for. Like,
Yeah, that'd be cute, but I mean, it would also be like such a quick boat ride. If you go to, if you're staying at the Dolphin in Disney World, you can get the boat and all the way to Epcot, and that's actually all the way to Hollywood Studios, which is actually quite a long ride.
Yeah, it
But I
doesn't make
feel
any
that-
sense anymore because of the security cordons. So they
yeah,
now have the
true.
security at Disney Village,
Yeah.
and
Right.
you would need
but
to
what
move
I've
that
never
if you
understood
had a
about
boat.
that is that if you put a security checkpoint on the path to Cheyenne, all the guests are checked as they go into the hotels anyway, so that could be a secure zone. As long
You
as
still have the bridge.
what bridge?
The
Between
bridge.
Santa Fe and Cheyenne.
And
Fine,
the one
but-
the road goes across as well.
Yeah.
Fine,
So
but
one
if
could
you
drop
know,
down and
but if you
infiltrate the
put
secure zone.
if you put the checkpoint like next to Sequoia, so like Sequoia guests wouldn't have to go through it, but at the end of the path, you know.
Sequoia Lodge guests would have to go through it because the lodges.
Yeah,
That's
because of the
messy.
separate buildings.
Yeah, very
my
true.
question is, like currently they have two tents. They have one by McDonald's for when you come in from Newport, and they have one going towards Hotel New York.
New York, yeah.
They could use the same amount of staff and just have 3 at the exits of each of the hotels, and then the entire lake area could be a
No,
secure
but that's
zone.
what I was trying to say. But then you
Lodges
have
and
the Cheyenne.
Sequoia.
They did that for a while, didn't they, at the Newport? I think, or maybe they did it
Yeah,
for a
They
while.
did move it, yeah.
They did for a while, and it works really well.
But that's because the side to go to
Oh, that was blocked for.
that was
paving, wasn't
blocked
it?
on one side, so you could
Yeah.
only go down to the parks.
But then I also feel like they could just move the checkpoint to by the exit of the pathway, and because all guests that go into New York are checked as they go in anyway, so you would skip them going through security, which would decrease people going through because they've been checked in the hotel already, and then have a secure zone just for Sequoia guests, and then have Newport the other side. I don't know.
Well, that'll
You
be
have-
that'll be for temperature checks next.
Yeah, we have,
Yeah.
we have to assume that all of these security considerations have already
Is it being
happened.
made?
I'm
And
sure.
that I'm sure that the secure zone exists because that's what they can secure.
Yeah.
Oh, people can come up through the lake as well, I suppose, because the lake
Chris?
does also drop onto sort of public area
Uh,
around by the marina type area. There's a bridge there.
Yeah, but you can't go on there.
Yeah.
I'm sure people
That's
can find ways.
Right.
I'm sure people have found ways in the past as well.
Yeah.
But like security at Sequoia is no joke. Like they have people standing on the hills observing everyone coming in. Like I tried to go for dinner at the restaurant once, and they wouldn't let me in through the into the parking lot until I found the reservation on my phone.
No, time I went to Sequoia Lodge and literally there was a door open that you have to break, like coming in from the car park, and you have to go in through the security entrance or whatever. And then there was another door that was just open, and I walked through that one. I didn't even go because I didn't know. I'd never been at Sequoia Lodge before. I was like, I'm just gonna walk through this door because it's open. And I literally got into the lobby without having my bag scanned or whatever. I was like, great.
Yeah, but you could do that because you could just walk right at the car park, walk round the back, and then there's no security check there anyway.
It's super easy to get into Sequoia without going through security checks.
That
I'm
is
not
true.
going to
Like,
tell
if
you
you
how.
go through the lodges, if you just walk through the
Yeah.
lodges, then you're just at Lake Disney.
And then you just walk around the back.
So everyone's
That's
going
that's
in, getting their
probably-
luggage scanned, whereas there are ways to get into Sequoia without having your luggage scanned.
But that's
We
probably why they're so
we
hot
don't
on those
advise this.
No, yeah. But
I was gonna
there's
say-
No, it's there for our
There's a
protection.
reason
It's a
there
good
is
thing.
security.
last time I stayed at Sequoia, there was people standing on the hills with guns in little huts and observing everyone walking in. So they obviously know about it and they take it quite seriously.
They knew you were
Where
coming,
magic
Elliot.
gets real.
Yeah, yeah. They knew I was coming, and then they got rid of me a week later.
Yeah.
So, Jeff, what other news do we have from Disneyland Paris?
Well, it's not kind of from Disneyland Paris, but it's something that people will know. The actor Michel Piccoli, who played
Oh.
Jules Verne in The Visionarium, has died today, actually.
Oh, I did not know.
He
Neither
was
did I.
94.
Ah,
You did well.
this is not pandemic related.
There's also somebody else who died actually this week who was quite important in Disneyland Paris. Give me a moment, I will find their names.
Did she
Can we
die
change
because
the
of Corona, or
architecture
did she just die because of her age?
Age.
Okay.
Can we
This
change
is the
Buzz
same for
Lightyear
the
back into
other
the
one.
Visionarium for a mourning period, and then keep it forever?
Imagine.
Somebody else who was super important.
Like Captain.
Let's just remove everything. Yeah, what's his name?
Trying to remind myself who
Willard?
it is.
Steve Willard?
Somebody who did a lot of the architectural plans for the resort died this week
Oh,
as
of
well.
course, yeah.
Yes, look on Rich's feed or something.
No, I think Eddie Soto tweeted it, but it looks like he's deleted it.
Oh, maybe they didn't die.
Maybe Tom Morris, maybe?
Um,
Oh, yeah, it was Tom Morris. Bob Smith,
Tom Morris
he's
is
got a
not dead.
window on above Casey's corner.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he was the vice president for architecture, apparently.
What a cool title.
I know, right? I'm looking
Stay.
for, because I remember we in our little chat things we had researched what he was doing.
Yes.
And I have it somewhere, but I don't
The
know.
Imagineers went to him and said, "I have this cool design. If we build it, will it like stay standing up?" That was
So-
the job.
Kind of a depressing news week, but
Yeah,
But
well,
we also
two
got
kind of
that,
important people. So
We also got that like amazing photo of the random guy outside Dumbo,
Yes. Elliot.
and we got to enjoy a live stream of Mickey and the Magician, starring Mickey from the Lion King, Jungle Book, and Frozen. I love him in all those movies.
Oh man.
if you like that, Toon
Oh.
Studios have a great video of it.
I found it. So Bob Smith, Mr. Smith was the supervisor of the progress of architectural design park-wide. All of the drawing packages were submitted through him and then on through the French approval process. So he was quite an important guy.
Interesting.
Making magic happen. You need someone to do that.
Credit where credit's due. I did enjoy the informational Big Thunder Mountain video today.
What video?
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, they released
Yeah,
a video like you know ride along with information like from the US parks. They did one for like DLP, and they even explained a bit of the Thunder Mesa story, which I thought was quite cute. Like,
And we're not going to talk about the fact that yesterday when they promoted their watch party, they put a link to a Toon
Studios Pro.
Toon Studios video, fan video in their tweets instead of I don't know what, instead of the watch party link.
They said, what was it? It was like, come watch this at 4 p.m. and just linked to a random fan video of the whole show.
Yeah, but then they deleted and redid it when they realized. But like, who had a link? Who had a link to that video in their phone or draft? Or I'm just so confused sometimes.
Whoever was
Stuff
watching it
happens.
clearly just, I don't know.
Someone
It's
was
weird.
watching it before and just put that link in instead of the other
He's like,
link.
oh, this show's actually pretty good. Let's promote it.
Yeah. I was confused. I was like, why is this on purpose? But I don't think it was. Anyway. But it was cool to see Mickey and the Magician in like a new version, I guess. I feel like we need to save all those videos because I feel like when the park reopens, they're all going to be deleted.
No, they'll probably just stay on the YouTube channel.
You think so? I feel like they're
Yeah,
just posting them now,
Because
and then when the park
almost
opens,
all of the videos already were on their YouTube channel. They just
they're repackaged.
they just updated them with the new cover, and that's it.
Hey, don't forget the Wonderful World of Disney parade cast member videos that came out this week.
yeah.
wasn't
Oh
it?
yeah, that was great. That was
That
really
was
cute.
fun.
Yeah.
That was really well done.
So if you haven't seen 160 former Disneyland Paris cast member, got together. I guess they have a group chat probably or something somewhere on Facebook.
EPC
maybe
2001 to 2007.
Right? I mean, they must have like a group chat, and I guess someone was like, "Guys, let's just redo the whole dance." And so everyone sent in their videos, and they all got put together, and it was a lot of them, and some of them were wearing costumes, and some of them were doing funny
Had
things.
their children doing it.
Some of them still had their name tags from back in the day, and
Some had costumes as well, like the original Steamboat Willie costumes are still there. Some of the
as if someone
chimney
just took that
sweeps.
home. Like,
The
imagine
Beauty and the
just like,
Beast kitchen outfits. You got to watch to the end as well, because there's a really brilliant moment at the end, which is so good.
Do you know what I realized when I watched that, though? I realized that choreography in Disneyland Paris has barely changed.
Right.
They basically do the same thing.
I mean, parade choreography. Like, how many options do you have?
Like, they remember
I
they
don't
have, to
know,
do it, they have to do it 30 times.
Yeah, they all do like the thing where they like do the fist bumps and they walk with them like with next to their chest. So they still do those.
Yeah. Well, my favorite parade move was in Magic on Parade when the music ended and they were all frozen for 5 seconds. And then it would go again from the start.
And people think it's going to be another track, but oh no, it's the same one.
No, yeah. Anyways.
I feel people that dance the parade route, I'm like, fair play to them. Sometimes I walk the parade route and I'm out of breath, and these people dance the whole thing for like 25 minutes.
I know, right?
Are you insane, people?
And that's why they used to get breaks.
I mean, people who and also and like in the summer, you know, like Disney character friends who dance the parade in the summer, like that must just be death.
No.
So
remember-
they're getting this summer off.
Well, yes, they are. Smile and wave, smile and wave. That's all you're gonna do. You smile and wave from distance. Talking
Me and
about
Viv watched Jungle Book Drive on the day that it was like 39 degrees.
Oh, that was
oh my God,
something.
poor guys.
This year we're just going to stuff you on Casey Jr. and you're just going to wave for it.
Well, it was cancelled. Jungle Book Drive was cancelled a lot on the first few weeks, including on the press event weekend. They only performed like the strict minimum to show the press, but it was really, really warm weekends. And the weeks after that, it was also very warm. So, yeah.
42 degrees.
Talking about Smile and Wave, something else is reopening soon. It's Disney Springs
Yeah.
at Walt
Good
Disney
luck.
World. Good luck.
Oh my god, yeah.
So, you know, Americans, the big debate, the
Are we going to
mask
talk about the liability clause as well? Because that feels like it's important.
and the mask. I mean, the mask. People are very upset about having to wear a mask. It's too hot.
also-
It's like
They've updated the
freedom.
resort terms and conditions as well, saying by entering the Walt Disney World Resort, you agreed that you're undertaking these risks under your own
You're joking.
free will, and you know.
It literally says
if
it's
you get
likely that
COVID-19.
COVID-19 will be spreading in our resort. It says something like that.
I'll find the exact phrasing because it is completely bonkers.
Wow. I wonder if France will have that. Are we even allowed to put that in our terms and conditions?
I have
Disney,
it. Hang on. I'm just
Disney
looking
Springs is going to reopen on Monday? No, Saturday? No, Wednesday? I don't know. When is the 20th?
Sometime.
Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday.
They're opening
The
on Wednesday.
20th, right? The
Right.
same day as Efteling.
Yeah,
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Here you go. This is the exact wording. We've taken enhanced health and safety measures for you, our other guests, and cast members. You must follow all posted instructions while visiting Disney Springs. An inherent risk of exposure to COVID-19 exists in any public place where people are present. COVID-19 is an extremely dangerous disease which can lead to severe illness and death, according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Senior citizens and guests with underlying medical conditions are especially vulnerable. By visiting Disney Springs, you voluntarily assume all risks related to exposure to COVID-19. Let's keep each other health and safety.
No, but have you ever seen like American TV ads where it's like, oh, here's this for your hair loss, stop your hair loss with decoxetin, and like side effects may include stroke, heart attack, death, cancer, some severe skin conditions. I'm like, okay, I'd rather just lose my hair than take this medication that could potentially kill me. It's
My
like
favorite,
side
like as you're entering Disneyland, on all the turnstiles, it basically says like, if you come here, you will get cancer.
No, but I mean,
Yeah.
I understand where they're coming from because America is kind of the land of the liability lawsuit. Like people sue because the McDonald's coffee is too hot. That's like the landmark case
No,
on that.
people sue. It's not people sue because McDonald's coffee is hot. People like win. Like that's the crazy
Right.
thing. Like,
But I think like Disney is like, well, people are going to come to our theme parks, and then if they catch COVID-19, they're going to sue us for like $5 billion and saying that it's our fault that they caught it. So by putting that clause in, at least the judge will do whatever he wants with it, but at least they have a clause.
You'd have to prove negligence, right?
Right. And so, Disney is not going to be negligent. They're going to have signs posted everywhere. They're going to have masks on cast members. They're going to have, like, hand sanitizer everywhere and social distancing. So, yeah. Ash says, I can't wait until it happens here in GLP. Hey, everyone, Disney Village is reopening. Please be excited.
Yay!
It'd be so hard for someone to prove that they caught it on Disney property. Like, because obviously,
because
just live on
know.
Disney property.
I don't think you can prove it at all.
Well,
Where
you
you
can
caught
kind of
it.
calculate like the incubation period, but I mean that's different for everyone. And
Well, in
Yeah.
Shanghai Disneyland sort of do have a way of doing this because they're logging government IDs and things like that, and they're facilitating contact tracing. So by entering Shanghai Disneyland, you've given over your health ID,
Yeah,
you've
but
given over your passport ID.
I don't think.
Right, Disneyland. I just think it's because you live in China. They're like you
Sure, it's
kind of
a lot easier
kind of
to
just-
do, but
you kind of
if
just
somebody
I
does
don't
get
think
it, you
France
could start
allows
tracing them
that.
back.
No, well, like it's just the whole point of like the Chinese government will do what they want, and as soon as you enter their soil, they're like, and we're tracing you. And we're like, but there's no disease, and like we're tracing you anyway. So like, it's like, I think it's just a difference in kind of culture, maybe, because like
Yeah.
the whole
Yeah.
like green QR code, like health code scans and stuff like that. Like in theory, it's a fantastic idea. I think in practice, though, because like I'm sure other countries have talked about it as well, but I know in France they've been talking about this whole Stop COVID-19 app that you're meant to download, and it's like a voluntary anonymous thing, and it's meant to give you a notification if you're either coming into contact with someone that's either being diagnosed and blah 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 blah. But the fundamental flaw is they can't enforce it. They can't make everyone have the app.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When if they can't make you have the app like they can in China, well, is it really worth it? Because if it's like 6 people that don't have COVID-19 and then 100 people that do but don't have the app, like what's the point?
You need, for the app to work, it has to be 60% of the population using it.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
If you want to laugh though, go to the Disney Parks blog. Go have a read of the comments about any posts about springs or resorts reopening.
They're awful.
People do not want to wear face masks.
And I don't get
And
it
by
because
people,
like,
I mean like a small minority of people.
yeah, but it's,
a
it's always
really
the
funny
vocal
minority.
ones. It's always the vocal ones. And like, if you don't want to wear a mask, then don't come to the parks. But I mean, it's been,
See-
I think people don't understand about masks is that it doesn't really protect yourself, and that's fine because you'll inhale the air, but it protects other people because when you speak and when you cough and when you just live, you project things from your mouth, as I am right now.
Yeah, it's also
And
it's,
so
it's like a
mask
visual
will limit.
reminder as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's also a reminder. And to be honest, like the other day I went biking with surgical mask on, and they're actually pretty light and they're fine. I feel I like them better than the cloth ones. They're not as pretty and they don't have Disney design on it, but they're actually a bit lighter, and that was totally fine biking with it.
Have you seen like in City Walk in Universal that opened up last week? Like everyone, they've put out the whole like you have to have masks and you have to wash your hands and blah blah blah. And like there was like queues, like long queues to get into the car park so that people could get in. So I feel bad because I know Americans in general kind of get a bad rep because there's like a few crazies that like to shout really loud and kind of give a bad image to everyone. But I do think like when you look at City Walk and what's happening last week in Universal, I do think there are like people that want to be in these places and that will accept the rules. But there's just nut jobs that are just willing to scream 100 times louder than like the actual sane people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, I think it's pretty safe to say that if and when, when Disneyland Paris reopen, we'll have the same requirement probably to wear a mask.
I think so, and I think it'd be smart for Paris because obviously the problem with Paris is that a lot of people will be coming from across Europe, and every country has different rules about face masks. So I think the resort should try and take precautions to have a bunch on hand and maybe to sell some in the shops and have that reserved. Because if you're coming from the UK, where face masks are advised but not enforced in any way, guests might not have a face mask.
Yeah.
They might just show up to the resort and have no idea they have to wear one.
And we can't really buy them.
But then,
other countries can't buy them.
But then they're also obligated on Eurostar and stuff, aren't they? So then people coming from the UK would need one if they're traveling by that. And by plane, I think they are also being obligated to wear one. Sorry.
Well, it's down to the airline because UK airports you don't have to. So if EasyJet, which is kind of registered as a UK airline, so they don't have to enforce it if they don't want to. They haven't actually announced anything yet.
Well, we're looking
and
for...
even Ryanair, they're just giving you one disposable face mask. So if you fly on Ryanair, you'll get a face mask, and when you're done with it, that's it. You don't have a face mask again.
But that's also another thing, though. And I know it's hard because there's so many different countries in Europe, but that's something that if you are intent on traveling, that is something that you should be kind of considering because, like you said, in the UK they're advised but not enforced. So you can get away with not having one, but that information's already trickling down to people that are kind of looking at the news every night or every couple of days. So it is something that people are aware of. So if you are going to be traveling in any way, shape or form, you should at least be I went out for a walk yesterday and where I am, there's signs everywhere saying, it's advised but not enforced. But I walked onto this kind of specific street. And because it was a street that was quite busy and had a lot of people, they were like, no, you need to have a mask to wear here. So I had my mask in my pocket, put it on my face, and just walked through the street because that's where they can't really control social distancing. So
I think Darren was making a point a second ago that in the UK, you can't buy them. I had there's no idea where to go.
Well, they're also
I wouldn't know where to go. No, I mean, I'm just looking at Eurostar website.
Car shops, by the way, if you're listening and you actually want to know, car repair shops.
The Eurostar website says Eurostar asks the customers bring their own mask with them, adding that any type of mask is suitable as long as it effectively covers your nose and mouth. So you could use a scarf or something, I suppose.
Germany's in Germany, you're allowed to anything that will cover your face, including headscarves or winter scarves, as long as it covers your nose and mouth. It doesn't need to technically.
Yeah, but I think that shows that it's just to prevent you from projecting your things.
Yeah, but I think it would be smart for Disney to just have a precaution so that guests that might not have them or want to buy them, they can have that. And I think that there is time to produce them.
Well, we were looking for new ideas for shops at Disney Village. There you go. The mask store.
The cynic in me is the merchant Disneyland Paris is so bad. I wouldn't be expecting masks anytime soon. Remember the time fidget spinners were a thing, and then 2 years later, fidget spinners started into the shop.
To be fair to Disneyland Paris, they were well ahead on hand sanitizer. They've had it for a year now.
Yeah, that's true. And then when COVID-19 came, they sold out in a day.
I can't wait for them to make a mask with a Broadway poster of the Rhythms of the Pride Land on it. Just a square in the middle of the mask.
I have there's some really cool. If you're looking for a Disneyland Paris inspired wine, Redbubble have a lot of Disneyland Paris designs.
Well, there you go.
It's a real delight actually to look through them. Some of them are really inventive.
The cool thing about Redbubble is that any creator, including all the Disneyland Paris fan, can just add face mask as an option to print your own design. So it's cool.
Yeah. There's some really fun ones. There's a Phantom Manor one I saw. There's Tony Baxter's smile, if that's your thing.
With the mustache.
With the mustache, yeah.
Oh, God.
There's the goat from Big Thunder Mountain with the dynamite in his mouth.
Oh,
there's some really cool ones.
Oh, okay. Cool idea. And if you know Queen Ursula, she also makes fantastic masks. I don't know if they're in stocks or how, but if you follow her, she also sells some. I have one from her, which is really cool. It has little Mickeys all over, and it's very popular when I go to the grocery store.
I've got a Christopher and Sven one in my notebooks in France. Well, two
Patrick
actually.
just fell on the floor.
My friend made it for me.
So thank you. I would need pictures. Thank you very much.
Chloe
really like
Glenister
the
made them
ones.
for me. They're great.
Nice.
All right.
Awesome. I really like the ones they released on Shop Disney in the US, by the way. There's some really fun designs.
I wish they had those like in the European store because they were
They
great.
say that there's no plans for them, but I think they might be making plans for them because
I hope they
I
do.
think
Yeah,
we're
they
going
must.
to be
I mean,
living
it's
with
gonna
this
be-
thing for ages.
Yeah, it's gonna be kind of a staple item for a while. Like, do you have your ears and your mask? Maybe they can do a combo with ears and mask matching. I don't know. Like
To be
a
fair,
set.
that would be a great idea. Having like a set with like a mask and a pair of ears.
Yeah.
I may
Matching.
have bought the Dapper Dan's on Redbubble. There's a Dapper Dan's face mask. I might have bought it because I have a Dapper Dan's baseball cap and Spirit jersey.
Well, there you go.
Still matching.
You can be like Nancy Pelosi and her matching mask and outfits. All right, so we're going to take a musical break, and the theme this week is stage productions. So we've chosen our favorites from various stage productions around the world, but mostly in Paris. But actually, we're going to start with one of my favorites, and it's from Magic Kingdom, and it's the finale from Mickey's Royal Friendship Fair, which I think is such a cute, amazing show that I didn't even know existed until I went a few years ago, and I was like, what is this? So we will be right back after the break with Patrick's quiz. You have a quiz, Patrick, yes?
I do have a quiz, yeah.
Okay.
Well done. Yeah, I do.
Okay, all right, so we'll see you in 2 minutes.
Warm hugs for everyone!
Oh, this is what I love about the Friendship Fair. It's this day. Come from here, come from far. All these separate parts together make us whole. On this very day, doesn't matter who you are. There is room enough for every heart and soul. We are links in a chain made of silver and gold. We are part of a pattern of hearts to unfold. We are heroes of stories intended to be told. We come together on this day.
Guess what? I have one last special surprise for everybody.
You do? I love surprises.
To celebrate the new friendships created today,
Here, here.
and the old ones that grow stronger every day,
You shut up.
here's to all of us.
Welcome back to the DLP Report podcast. Guys, what are you doing?
Nothing will
You are glad you didn't
itself.
move in 10 seconds.
No, Patrick, everything.
I feel like I've missed something.
Yeah,
No, it's fine.
don't worry.
You didn't miss a thing.
Okay. All right, you'll tell me later. It's time for the quiz.
Woo.
Is there a theme this week, Patrick? No.
No, there is no team. It's just a regular hodgepodge type quiz type thing.
Okay. Do we still have to say our names?
Yes, we do, but
I'm just checking
Why
in
do you
case the
keep
rule
asking
changed. I don't
that?
know, because just in case the rules changed.
yeah, the week where you can just shout the random answer and I can just try and listen to 8 people shouting at me, I'll tell you that when it changed that week.
Maybe we can do that next week.
No, we definitely can't. We would have structured fun if that's okay. So, question number 1. I tried to make it a bit
Straight
easier.
into it.
Yeah, I tried to make it a bit easier. So, if the questions are dead easy, I'm sorry. I tried to make it easy. Okay, question number 1. Which iconic horror movie actor lends his voice to the Phantom speech in English for Disneyland Paris' Phantom Manor attraction? Jack?
Vincent Price.
There you go. See, they're super easy this week. And Jeff, Jeff was still the first one to get the answer. Great. Okay, question number 2. Continuing on from last week's theme, which Walt Disney Studios animation character made his Disney Parks debut in Shanghai Disneyland show Summer Blast?
David.
Maui. Yeah.
Who?
Maui.
Moana.
Oh.
That we're watching on Thursday. Anyway, next. Question number 3.
DLP said no.
Me and Patrick are watching Moana on Thursday.
Gel. I love Moana.
Remotely.
I actually really don't like Mary, but I can't wait to watch the movie.
Yeah, he's kind of annoying, isn't he? From what I remember.
I feel like
Really
at the start of the movie he's like arrogant and ignorant and is like whatever, and then at the end of the movie he's arrogant and ignorant and like whatever. So I'm like, okay, great. What character progression?
So does he change in your opinion?
Not at all. He's like literally just the same arrogant at the start of the movie. At the end. Okay, next question. On what date will the next edition of the Disneyland Paris Pride event take place?
Darren. Is it the 12th of June?
No, not the 12th.
It's not.
Viv?
The 13th of June 2021.
Oh god, did I get the wrong answer? No.
Ben.
Is it Elliot?
Ben.
Is it 8th? June 8th?
Hang on, I'm gonna research this answer. Maybe I got it wrong.
Well, this year this way was 5.
No, 6 this year.
12.
Is it the 12th?
Yes.
What did you have?
Just looked it up.
Can I just defend myself? I swapped the 1 and the 2, so sorry. Yeah, okay, done. Yay.
What did you think? Like 21?
Take your rainbow
Yeah,
ears
I
off.
wrote 21. I'm so sorry. It was just a typo. It was a typo. Sorry.
I love how everyone's
great.
paying attention to the news. I don't know.
Darren, you got the point. Hooray. Okay.
I'm on the scoreboard. Yeah.
Yeah, up to you.
All right.
Question number 4. Which New Orleans-style restaurant can be found aboard the Disney Wondership? Viv.
Oh shit! What's her no? I'm not allowed to swear. I'm not.
Yeah, you can say anything on this podcast.
No, it's literally on the tip of my. Is it Tiana's Palace? No, it's not.
It's not Tiana's Palace. No.
Oh, it's on. I hate this.
Elliot.
Tiana's Place.
Correct.
Oh, that's it. I was saying it's on the tip of my tongue.
Because it's Tiana's Palace in the movie, but Tiana's Place in the...
Why?
Because I don't know why.
Is it because
she's
it's confusing?
fancy on the ship? She's on a ship. She gotta be fancy. She needed a new name.
What a
It's
palace!
Tiana's Place when she first.
But isn't Palace more
So
fancier?
during the movie, she wants it to be Tiana's Place, but at the end, because she's a princess, they call it Tiana's Palace. But then in real life, they call it Tiana's Place.
It's confusing.
Crazy.
I think maybe it would be confusing because people would think that there's like a castle,
I didn't hear
like a
because like
palace.
6 people talking.
If there's like
Yeah.
they'll think there's like a palace to visit or something, and it's like a restaurant. Because
Yeah.
like, palace kind of
Studios
sounds.
Park near you, maybe.
And they don't typically like the end of film looks for Frozen 2 is actually the exception because at the end of Tangled they cut Rapunzel's hair and she doesn't have that look anywhere else in the world.
I wish she had that. That would be cool.
At the Little Mermaid, she wears like a pink dress at the end. She just always wears a green dress. Like it's
But then Rapunzel gets her hair back in the animated series.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
And then loses it again.
But then doesn't
Tangled
everyone's
ever
hair grow
after.
back? So I mean,
Right.
poor girl if
I mean,
that
I
wouldn't
had
grow
blonde
back.
hair when I was a kid.
And then in Frozen, the best outfits they have are the ones at the start of the movie, and then they're the only ones who don't have those outfits in the park, and the only ones with the end of the movie outfits. Like, why?
I mean, our show outfits are not even in the movie, to be honest.
Nope.
Super Trooper Elsa.
Next question.
Yeah. So are we getting Tiana's place around the lake for Walt Disney Studios? I think it's been
Possibly.
Well,
It's on the
on the what?
So, in the model that was in the Imagineering story, you can just about see the two, like, what's the word? Like Battle Power Station, that it has two things sticking out. And you can just about see it in the Imagineering story. Whether it's still the plan, we don't know.
Yeah, because I heard it was not the case anymore. It's like that big 2-story restaurant, right? That's just right by the lake. And there's a restaurant downstairs and a restaurant upstairs.
I don't know.
Replaced
where
by
it's
a
gonna be.
snack stand.
Literally.
It's gonna be the festival center for like the permanent festival we're gonna have around this lake.
It's just going to be another crepe place.
Oh man, it's gonna be the
Tiana's place would have been so cool. If that had been like a character dining show location, like where you have Tiana singing and then people bring you food.
So basically, like on the ship.
With like a little window at the side, so you can get beignets, like to go, like the mixed julep bar. That would be amazing.
It would be so cute.
But the problem is that it's like the Lucky Nugget. Eventually, entertainment will get cancelled, and then they have this sad, empty stage sitting there forever.
Lucky Nugget Entertainment doesn't get cancelled.
Meet Mickey Mouse.
What?
What?
Well, Meet Mickey Mouse. That was the Fantasyland Theatre.
Oh yeah, there was entertainment there.
Yeah.
And I mean, at Lucky Nugget now we have puppets, but I mean, they used to be like a real show
thing.
a
Yeah,
real,
it was very
a real
cool.
whole Star Wars can thing going on, which was quite fun. Anyways,
yeah, I liked it.
Tiana's IP though, she'd never get cut.
Okay, next question.
Patrick is like, I am done with this conversation. Back to the game.
I feel like it's gone as far as it can go. I personally, it would be amazing, but at the end of the day, when Bob Chapek says we're going to look through the budgets with a fine tooth comb, it's going to be like with an absolute dice and everything, and he's going to let's cut all of the following things. So I'm not expecting much of it, to be honest. Anyway.
He trims, he doesn't cut. That's what he said in the call the other week.
Well, I think the definition
he likes to trim.
Different edition of cut is very different there.
He trims the soul out of it all.
God.
Next question. What was the first annual pass party to take place in the Walt Disney Studios Park?
Elliot.
Jeff.
The Tower of Terror 10th anniversary night.
Yeah, correct.
It's been the Tower of Terror.
It was so much fun. I loved that night. It was so good.
Yeah, it was cool. I remember just queuing up for the key, and I was like, "What the hell am I queuing for?" And I was like, "Oh, it's merch." I was like, "But what merch is it?" And I was, "We don't know." And I was like, "I'll come back later." I came back 2 hours later, walked up to the till, bought, and I was like, "What am I buying?" It's like, "We're not allowed to open the box to show you." I was like, "Okay, can I just have one?" And I was like, €29, and I opened it. I was like, "Oh, it's a key."
Yeah.
I went back and then I went the next day and bought one. Didn't even go to the party, and I still got one the next day. So,
that was so fun. Like, I loved dressing up in the tux. That was so good.
That was the start of the mess with the keys.
Right.
It prevented
the keys.
Yeah, but they're always a mess.
Yeah, they are.
Is there any specific reason though? I know collectors and whatever, but is there any specific reason? I don't get why there's like a limited edition number on them, because I feel like that's merch that collectors in general want. Like, you don't see them doing limited editions of like the Hollywood Tower Hotel statue or whatever.
Well, I think it gives it more value and attachment to have limited edition. Because you feel like you're more attached.
See, like the pin sculpt, the vultures that are like go to every pin release, and as soon as like a pin was released, it's like, oh, €60 on eBay.
eBay.
Yeah. I think they could keep them limited edition, but they just need to make the edition bigger.
Yeah.
So,
or they should make them like limited release and just have like for just a certain weekend, so that people don't have to like hunt down Liberty and have it crash 20 billion times before they get a time slot.
When you look at like limited editions, I've been in Disneyland on like a Thursday when they do random pin releases on a Thursday, and like the like limited runs are like 3,000, and like
Yeah,
you can
so
walk into
Paris
literally
used to do that.
you can literally walk into every shop in the whole resort and be like, "Oh, do you have the limited edition pins?" They're like, "Yeah, sure," and they just sell to you every time.
So Paris used to do that. When I first started going like frequently, it was 2012, 2013, something like that. And the edition sizes were typically 1,200. So I wanted the 14th of July Best Deal Day pin because I thought it was really cute. It was Dumbo flying around the Eiffel Tower. It said 14th of July.
That's
really nice.
cute.
I went to the resort 3 weeks later and I had absolutely no problem buying that pin.
Imagine doing that now.
Yeah, 1,200. Everyone who wants it has it. Now it's 400. It's like, well, if you want it, it's actually 200 people because everyone buys 2.
I think they should just put the maximum on 1 instead of 2, and maybe that would help already.
Yeah, I remember queuing up even when the edition size was 1,200. I queued up and they were like, "How many pins do you want?" And I said, "Just 1." And they were like, "Really?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
what am I going to do with the other?
That used to be a thing. That used to be a thing, though, in general. Because I remember I went to see like one of like my second visit in 2016. I saw the Frozen sing along show, and like I saw it a couple of times that weekend. And I was walking out out of the park, and I wanted to Harrington's, and they had the 4 Frozen sing along pins, and they were like limited edition. I was like, "Do you still have them?" And like, "Yeah, do you want them?" I was like, "Yeah, of course I do." And I made her cover the cash register because I didn't want to see how much they were because it was so expensive. So she was like, "Just give me your card," and I was like, "Great, just take my money and don't tell me how much it was." But like that is the thing though. Like if you really want, like, and that's the problem because like you do have a lot of like how I would class it as like super locals, as in people like me who can get there within like an hour of anything happening. I can be there in an hour and I can get whatever. But then you do have a lot of other people that are kind of like not so super locals, but local enough that they probably would be there in the resort every 6 to 8 weeks. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I feel like
a lot of those people are kind of overlooked in the fact that there is quite a big market for things like that. Yeah, they mightn't sell out of everything as soon as they would if they did just a morning thing. But I really don't see why there needs to be a limited edition key that's like limited edition to 1992. And like I think it's cute. It's a cute idea. But like limited editions in Disneyland Paris don't really work because it just brings out the worst on everybody.
Yeah, I think every single pin design has its own market. So I remember 3 or 4 years ago, something like that, they had the Villain series. And they had a Ratigan pin. Okay, how many people are going to go crazy over a Ratigan pin? Not many. But over the course of however many months, there will be enough to sell out.
Yeah, like 100%. Like I've been looking at like other merch from other places, and you see like Shanghai Disneyland has like every now and again they do a massive jumbo, and it'll be like the castle with like whatever show they did, or it'll be like a parade flow, or like it'll be like a jumbo, like, and it'll be like limited edition of 1,000, and I'm like, yeah, that's like a good number to be like, okay. That's not some like jumbos are like 50 odd euros and not everyone's going to go for it. But like you can satisfy everybody by not doing super low limited edition numbers.
Yeah.
I don't care. Anyway,
on that note.
Next question. Let's do some maths.
Oh yeah, it's the quiz.
The next question is a maths question. So
no.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
So are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
Well,
26
in the room.
87.
Oh, he's actually not that far off the answer. Anyway,
which one?
So 86, 27. Okay.
Can you just say the question?
What is
81.
81.
the difference in price between an Infinity Annual Pass in 2020 and a Dreams Pass in 2016?
Ben.
2016.
Ben.
90 euros.
Are you serious? No.
Dave.
What, is it too low?
Dave.
140?
No. Darren.
I'm just going to go with it 42.
No.
No.
Oh shit.
Was I far off?
You were closer than Ben was, yeah.
Because I remember, well, no, there's people who haven't answered yet. Yeah, okay. I'll not say anything.
Yeah, but the Infinity Annual Pass in 2020,
It's 400 euros.
Yeah, 400.
Well, 399.
It's 449, right? The Infinity.
Yeah, I was thinking of the old Infinity price.
Elliot.
Is it like 200?
No, it's not 200. Dave, do you want to go?
I thought it was like 220 or something.
Dave, I feel like Dave is just going to get the point because he was close. It's 226.
Oh.
Is that the price difference?
226.
Yeah.
I thought
it was 229.
200 euros.
Hang on. A 449 is the price of an Infinity Annual Pass in 2020.
449?
Yeah.
Jeez.
A Dreams Annual Pass cost 223 euros.
Yeah.
2016, making a grand difference of 226.
I just calculated the wrong
double.
number.
Is it? It's almost double the price.
Yeah, more than double. Yeah.
That is crazy.
Is it worth it? Do you think?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, they were massively underpriced, like for
I bet.
Yeah.
I paid like $1,200 for a Disneyland annual pass. Like,
yeah, that's
of course
insane.
it's worth
I
it.
mean,
I live on the other side of the
fair,
world for Disneyland.
It was all part of the theory that people were going to come and spend money, but obviously that's been proven wrong now for many years. So you gotta get your money on the ticket price because guests are just going to come and buy like one thing all day. If that.
But when they introduced that annual pass, when they changed everything to Dream, Fantasy, etc., I think was
199.
I think it was 149.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think you're right, Jeff. Yeah, it was really cheap.
Francs, I think.
Yeah, it wasn't that expensive. But
and then in 149.
Anniversary, they just gave loads of them away to people because they were like, "Come back."
But they gave them the lowest level. And it didn't even exist on sale. They called it Classic.
I don't know, but what would be do you think because of the coronavirus that they are? Because another way they up their prices twice a year in either November or April, they kind of get to go up in the prices. I was almost sure that a price hike was on its way.
Yeah,
same.
To be honest, I don't know.
Prices of the lower ones in a long time.
I feel like we've all kind of saved a lot of money by not going out for so long, and people are ready to spend.
But at the same time, I think they really want to restore guest confidence. They need people through the door, and at the moment,
I think
we're definitely going to go, but I don't know if the general public will.
I think it will.
I mean,
if you read the Facebook groups, then yeah, people are definitely willing to go.
People are ready. I think if there's one thing people are going to risk is going to Disney, at least if they're big fans or they really miss it.
But I wonder when people see pictures and things of social distancing and just the reality of going to the theme park as it's going to be. For me, it's going to be fun, whatever. But I think a lot of people will go, well, I might just save my money and go when I can hug Mickey again.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, I think it really will depend on the kind of person that is wanting to go. Like people who've saved up money for so long, I can see that they don't want to go because you don't get like the full experience.
Yeah. But then again, there's also people like me who have like saved up money, and I'm like, oh, I've saved up so much money, I'm like ready to go to like an international Disney park, and I'm probably not going to spend all that money that I've saved up from not going to Disneyland Paris. It's just kind of saved me up, and I'm like, what international park?
But also, if you look at guests who might have gone to Disney World, they go, well, we don't want to go all that way with the healthcare in America. Also, so maybe we'll try Disneyland Paris this time. They've got the new Marvel Land anyway.
Who don't want to wear masks and stuff.
But I wonder, Patrick's point's really interesting, because in the UK anyway, where Walt Disney World is much more heavily advertised, I wonder how many people would go, do you know what, we could have a weekend in Paris, or do you know what, screw it, we could have a blowout 2 weeks in Walt Disney World.
But also, I think there's also going to be the opposite of people who don't want to go to America.
People won't want to go to America yet, will they? That's the problem. People might want to stay local-ish.
I don't think anyone. Well, I'm just using my logic. In my head, I'm not getting anywhere until at least summer 2021. Like I'm not gonna. I kind of had I had a fair idea that I was hoping I might get somewhere for Halloween this year, and then that really didn't look like it was going to happen. And even thinking like January, February, March of the start of next year, it seems like really early. I don't see this time next year, like next summer, which would have been 18 months, even more after the start of the pandemic. I really don't see. I think after a while, countries are just going to start getting desperate for money and be like,
it's going to be here for a while, because even if a vaccine comes in, you've still got that rollouts, and it's going to be well into next year. So we're with this for a while.
Yeah, I was saying last night, I have no plans until 2021 at the moment.
Well, also for UK.
Okay, but that's basically 2021.
For UK guests, being able to get the train and drive might appeal more, because like no air circulation, or you can drive there in your own car. So it could.
Oh, should we try that? Never done that.
You can drive my car.
Road trip.
I'll drive. I've already booked.
Let's have a road trip.
But I also think there'll still be people who don't want to travel at all. So I guess we won't know what the situation will end up being like until. It depends
on the booking process as well, and how far you can book in advance. If it's like Shanghai, how far in advance can you book? If you're there,
how far in advance can they book in Shanghai?
Weeks, I think.
It's a week, yeah.
I think our tickets are for like hotel.
No, car tickets.
Because I was looking on the site just to get an idea, but they will let you book a hotel stay until October.
Oh, and if you
got about 6 months. Well, is that 6 months? Yeah.
Like you'd have to let everyone staying in a Disney hotel guaranteed access to the park.
Yeah.
So it might almost be like if you want to go, you have to book on site. Like.
But to be fair, that's also a smart way for them to get AP holders like back on site.
Yes.
Well, Shanghai have done a thing where even AP holders have to reserve at the moment, but until the reservation period is finished. The APs are effectively in free time, so they're only resuming APs, sort of the validity of the APs anyway, when they remove reservations.
Viv could be right though. Stay in a Disney hotel, you get in the park. Don't stay in the Disney hotel, you risk your trip. I don't know.
Yeah,
but that does kill also the local economy, because a lot of the hotels and things.
Well, there'll be a percentage, won't there, of day.
Yeah.
But like
availability.
DOP has to do something. Like, if for them that's a way to keep people coming, then they
DLP
definitely
is very different to Shanghai. Shanghai, people from the city might go for the day, whereas DLP is obviously a destination resort like Disney World. So obviously there are still people who come for the day.
Not so much, because you have all the local guests as well, and there's quite a few of them.
But I think you could say the same about Orlando. I think the percentages for DLP in terms of people coming to stay are much more similar to Disney World than Shanghai.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I genuinely don't know, but I remember that like every morning I would come down, because the first shuttle to the park was like 6:20, and to get like a space in that bus you had to be down at like 6. And I remember coming down to the lobby at 6 o'clock every morning, either in the Toy Story Hotel or in the Shanghai Disneyland Hotel, and to say the lobby was absolutely packed with people checking in, because like that's the one thing I was really surprised about when I went to Shanghai. Like the resort had only been open for just over a year by the time I got there, but people knew how to play the game. They were like there, like if they were checking in on that day, they were checking in at 6 a.m. so they could get into the park and use their park access and whatever.
You see that more in Paris as well now, though.
Yeah, but like I was just surprised for like a country that was like new to kind of like the Disney park thing, how kind of like ahead of the game they were. Like they were staking out their spots, they were like waiting for the shows and like blah blah blah. They were like picking their. I was just surprised that regardless of where they came from, I was just really shocked that like even that I had to get up super early to be on the first bus, because if I got up at like 6:15 and got down for 6:20, I was on like at least the second or third bus to get into the resort.
I know, but DLP has 7 of those hotels. Shanghai has 2. So like,
still, I thought.
But still, it shows something.
Like for like even just for like sheer preparedness, I still thought it was they were quite on the ball and knew what the story was.
For Disneyland Paris, it's going to be reservations, hotels. I don't know, up to Christmas, people book. I don't know, but it's beyond then. If people haven't booked, and it's that next step, isn't it? After maybe the New Year or Christmas, when people haven't booked yet, and they need to bring people in at that point. They're probably all right. They're probably okay August onwards.
What's that? Who's that?
That was me. My internet is just really bad, so I'm using my 4G. Are we ready for the next question?
Yeah.
Oh my god, we're still doing a quiz.
Yeah. Who would have thunk it? Okay, Disneyland Paris's Main Street Transportation Building in Town Square shares a form factor with which other iconic Disney parks building?
Jeff.
Aaron.
Elliot.
Sleeping Beauty Castle at Disneyland Resort.
Yeah.
Boom.
There's a second one, by the way, if you know where it is.
Pardon?
Don't, because wait.
Is it another question?
It might be a quiz for another quiz. Well, anyway, go ahead, Jeff.
If you go down Discovery Arcade, there is an archway about halfway down, and that is the exact same form as the back of the castle at Disneyland.
Huh.
Interesting.
It was definitely not a question on my quiz because I didn't know. Okay.
I'll try and dig out a picture and put it online somewhere because it's really cool.
And if you remember, the cupcakes, the giant cupcakes for Mickey 90 Mouse Party were modeled after Bob Chapek's head.
We missed the cupcake girl.
Moving swiftly on. In which other Disney park would you be able to hear extracts of the background music for Discoveryland at Disneyland Paris?
Oh my gosh, I didn't even know this was a thing.
Wow.
It definitely is a thing.
Oh, I don't doubt you. I just didn't know.
Don't know.
Is it Curious Axel's pool?
I'm gonna guess Elliot.
Francesca's pool.
Also, thanks to Ben, say your name before you answer.
That's not a real answer. I don't have to say my name. It's a joke.
I'm gonna guess Elliot.
Elliot.
Is it in like the Port Discovery at Tokyo Disney Sea?
It is indeed. Correct answer.
Oh, yes!
That's really cool. I had no idea.
Do you Google?
I was thinking the same.
Do you think that's on Google?
Yeah.
Haven't you been to Port Discovery at Tokyo Disney Sea? Shouldn't you know this?
Ben has.
Yeah, no, that's what I said, Ben.
Oh, yeah, well, I don't remember the music. It's there for a day.
Okay, what are you meant to remember? Aren't you meant to be like a super fan?
Yes, well, but you know, this was in 2014, before I started being a Disney social media manager.
He went to both parks for one day. Like, one day for both the parks. Not one day each park, one day for both parks at Tokyo Disneyland.
And let me tell you, we rope dropped the shit out of that park. We were there at 6:45. And we didn't leave until the end of the fireworks in the other park.
Oh my God!
I never expected to be heard today. I'm going to rope drop the shit out of it.
Okay, next question. What is the name of the bar at Disney's Hotel Santa Fe?
Of the what? The bar?
The bar. Yeah, the pub, the bar.
Elliot? Is it like La Cantina?
No, that's the
restaurant.
Oh. The last restaurant I ate at Disney.
Oh, God.
That's a super good question.
Is it not just the Santa Fe bar?
Who said her name?
Is it called after... Sorry, I should...
Who said her name? There's only one girl.
No,
Patrick, isn't that called after the river? It's called after the river.
Said Dave.
Oh,
I was like saying somebody else's name. Sorry, yes.
Is it the Rio Grande bar?
Oh, damn it.
It is indeed. Correct answer.
Wow. Yay.
So, at this point, Darren has 1 point, so does Jeff, Ben, and Dave and Vivi, and Elliot is leading with 3. So, well done.
Yeah. Ooh, for once.
Next question. Which Disneyland Paris cast member with unique talent features in the series One Day at Disney?
Jeff.
Darren.
Jeff.
Cyril.
What's the last name?
Okay. I have.
Cyrilson.
Has Patrick got the last name?
Yeah. So, Cyril Thoreau.
Ooh.
There you go.
There you go.
Wow, Cyril Cyrilson was not far off. Huh, there you go.
There you go. He still got. What was the name of the first fireworks spectacular to take place in the skies over Park Disneyland?
Jeff. Fantasia in the Sky.
Correct.
Yeah.
Jeff's killing it tonight.
Where was I killing it?
This is the last question. So Jeff is on now on 3 points. So it's between Jeff and...
This is where I lost last week.
Yeah, this is where it all crumbles there, eh?
Come back, Elliot. Come on.
Which
Please don't be a numbers question.
No,
Sorry.
it's not. Which fan favorite stage show made its public debut on July 2nd, 2016
Jeff.
in Paris? Jeff.
Oh,
Jeff.
Mickey and the Magician.
Yeah. Correct.
Do you know what's really weird about this? I am currently sat next to a notepad that says Mickey and the Magician, July 2nd, 20.
So
you
there you
saved
go.
that one from the famous press event.
The Periscope.
So Jeff is the winner with 4 points. Correct.
Yay, congrats.
All right. You have won absolutely
week.
nothing.
You won the respect of everyone in the room for what it's worth.
You won yourself an
Exactly.
applause.
So Patrick, who's opening some chocolate? I feel like there's some chocolate.
It was me. Some blood orange chocolate.
This is consolation prize.
It is
Yeah,
chocolate.
consolation. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna get some chocolate during the next music
No,
break, which is right now.
Elliot,
Oh,
one time I was as skinny as you, and then I lost a quiz, and then I just PE. That's how it starts. That's how it starts. Anyway,
You'll have,
Congratulations.
you'll have a Duffy hat soon as well, Elliot.
it's a fucking Sven hat, not a Duffy hat. And he's my best friend, so shut up.
Oh.
Oh, Patrick.
So
Yeah, I think that's more than anything else, but it's kind of true. Okay, let's move on. Ben, what's the music choice?
it's your music choice. So you
good
tell
segue.
me.
Yeah, what's the
Sounds
music choice?
The one you chose.
Yeah, well, okay, yeah. So I just thought because, like, the last question, the answer was Mickey and the Magician. I thought it would be really cool just to listen to "Let the Magic Shine" to bring us into like a nice mood because I love that song, and every time I hear it, I'm like, "This show is so amazing." So yeah.
It is. All right. We'll be right back after Let the Magic Shine from Making the Magician.
Cherche en toi, caché dans ton cœur, la magie est là pour ton bonheur. C'est le vœu qu'il faut réaliser, la lumière que tu dois allumer. Si tu y crois, réveille en toi ce qui nous fait rêver. Let the magic shine, la magie brille en toi. Let the magic shine, et tu la partageras. You take what you got and you give it all away. Now let it shine. Suis les conseils de tous tes amis, puis croise en ton cœur et en ton esprit, et la lumière brillera sur le monde. Let the magic shine there inside of you. Let the magic shine.
welcome back to the GLP Report podcast. I went to get chocolate because of you, Elliot. I couldn't even finish. That song is short.
What song was that?
Let the magic
Let the
shine.
Magic shine.
I was too busy eating my chocolate. So.
I feel like I need to leave my microphone on with the sound or something so you guys can hear the song well.
No, we have
That would
great
be
chats
nice.
about things
So-
that happen in history.
And I feel like all the scandalous conversations happen during the music breaks. It's not fair.
Yeah.
I mean, are you surprised?
No. All right, so we're
It's
gonna
like the bit you can't broadcast.
exactly. But you know, since we started this,
For the airwaves, it's like
well, since we started this podcast under a different brand many moons ago, we always thought one day we're gonna have the podcast uncensored and just like drink a lot and just say a lot of very inappropriate things.
No, we would have offended quite a lot of people tonight. So
And maybe we still could. Maybe we could have like a live show at 10 p.m. one night and not post it for replay. It would just be a one-time thing. And if you listen to it, then you are. And
Be like bring a bottle party or something. Yeah.
Exactly. We start drinking at 9 and then we go on the air at 10 when like everyone's like
Sounds
ready.
good.
Seb says DLPR after dark. Yeah, right?
I mean, I'd be here for it.
Not that kind of after dark, Jesus. Right. So, before we move to question, I still can't say your name, Coon. Because Elliot taught me, and eventually one day it will stick. It's like saying my name before the answer. He was sending in a question, and then he said that maybe we could do the Illuminations challenge. So everyone goes around and says something about Disney Illumination without bashing it.
So something they like about it, basically.
Yes.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
That's a good thing.
After 20 minutes, it's finished.
20 minutes, that's long.
Jeff, that's bashing. That doesn't count.
No, it's praising it because, it does finish.
Yeah.
Yes, but no, that doesn't count.
That's kind of rude.
Well, I'm going to say that I like the opening and the end. Is that
Ben,
bashing?
You took the good bits.
Sorry. You had a chance to go first.
I've had loads of fun, like watching, like with Ashley or with Kat or whatever. I've had so much fun, like singing and dancing and like just like after you're out of spending the day with your friends in the park and at night time, just having like a really like just like enjoying what makes you kind of like really good friends because you understand each other's like passion and whatever. I've had really good times watching the Illumination.
Honestly, yeah.
So nothing about the show, basically.
But
you haven't seen Illuminations unless
It's
you've
really
seen Patrick
funny.
singing it.
It's really funny how like it's really hard for people to find something good about this.
No, I like singing along to it. I feel like the songs are
You
good
really
to sing
do.
to, and it brings people together after like a nice day at the park.
I've got a video somewhere of you doing that, Patrick. I might release it sometime.
Please don't. Please.
Well,
I mean, I like that Star Wars is in it.
really,
I like how they do the trees. I like the fact, like, I like how
trees
they
are cool,
change the trees.
Right? Yeah.
I think that's my favorite bit.
The
I
trees
really
are very
like
cool.
I really like the post show actually, like, and that's not in a bashing way.
Oh,
because it's
if you
finished.
can dream.
Like, I think that's a
cute.
really cute few minutes of projection onto the castle. I think that's really good.
oh, the rainbow.
Mhm.
Right? Or was that
Wow.
Dreams?
That was Dreams.
That was Dream.
Oh, that was better. Oh shit!
I mean, it was so it was better, but I think If You Can Dream is still really nice and it's really sweet.
Do you ever look the other way and look at the projectors? That's an amazing
that's fun.
sight. That's really cool.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen
In
it
the
in the
rain.
fog or in the rain.
In the rain.
In the rain, the
Did you ever
lasers.
not watch the show and back on it?
See, that's what I'm talking about. It's impossible. So the show is best viewed. We should make an elimination guide and say the show is best viewed if you look back at the projectors. It's more interesting.
The show is at its best if you don't watch it.
Oh God, Elliot, say something nice.
The projections are really bright on the castle.
Okay.
I think we have failed the challenge.
We've definitely failed. It's impossible. Okay.
Can
Ash,
you show the love tonight? The fireworks during Can You Show the Love Tonight are quite cute.
Yeah, I agree.
Ash
What?
just reminded me of something. So, like on a Sunday night when the park is kind of relaxed and chilled, and we do this thing called chilluminations, where you just sit and relax and chill
That's
to
nice.
the show.
I can't relate. I don't really manage to make Sunday night most of the time.
You're in bed by then, yeah. Or the
To be
evening.
fair, like with Halloween and New Year's Eve, that's literally what we did. Like whilst waiting already for the Halloween or New Year's Eve parade, we just sit wherever we want to watch it and like relaxed listen to illuminations.
Well, like
and-
a summer's evening when it's really late
and
it's
enjoy,
just still
like-
getting dark.
I enjoy all the parents putting their kids in their naps and then seeing other people being so angry at them.
This one time I was watching Illuminations with Ashley, and then I don't know what language she was speaking. I couldn't determine what language. She literally pointed to her kid, picked it up, and gave it to me, and I carried her kid for the whole Illuminations.
Excuse me?
I was like, I felt like, because it was like she had like, I don't know, I think she was like the granny. I don't know. I think she was like the granny because she was like a fair bit older than these like toddlers that she had, and she had three of them, and she had two, one on each hip, and she was like tiny. She was like really small. And I was like, oh my God, I feel really bad. And she just picked up one of our kids and pointed at me, and I was like, okay. And I just picked him up, and he stayed on my shoulder. Well, not on my shoulder. I put him on my hip type thing, and he just watched the whole thing from my show, or from me, basically. I thought it was a bit weird, but also a bit cute, because like I could have been anyone, and I was holding her kid. Just hold the kid. I was like, okay.
I mean, chances of you running out of the park with a kid pretty low. Especially after
true.
Disney Illumination, if you try to run out of the park, chances are you're not.
The Illuminations, there's a bit just to the left by Adventureland where you can really hear the pop of the fireworks. It's like the
we
pop
watched
zone.
it there so many times. That
Yeah.
was our last minute
And you
spot
can
of
really get that
2018.
pop, 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 pop going from the fireworks. That's a cool place to stand.
You don't even have to see the
Because,
projections. You just see some nice lights.
Here's some really cool
fireworks.
sounds.
It's even better because you don't have to see the show from the front.
And you hear half Adventureland music and half the soundtrack. So if you like take a step backward, you hear like do da 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 da, and step forward, you hear the soundtrack.
Okay.
True.
I
gave
gotta
us the
say-
Infinity Zone. That's good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've used it once.
I also like that they play the music in DLH whenever it's on. So it's
Like the whole of
it's a
DLH?
chain. It's well, in the lobby, what's it called? Outside,
Street
well, in
Lounge.
Inventions and in the Fantasia, and in the
Street
lobby.
Lounge, no?
Yeah, I think it's nice because it's a change of the loop that we hear all day long.
If you have a park view room, is there a channel that you can go so you can just listen to the soundtrack for Illuminations, or is that not a
It's
thing?
called Open the Window.
Yeah, literally. So the answer to your question is no, Patrick. And also, I can remind you that out of all the park view rooms, there's only like 4 that actually have a view on the castle.
Oh wow!
Damn
So-
Main Street Station, tear it down.
Park view.
We don't
just
need it
means
anyway,
that
there's no
it's on the
train.
side of the park.
Because I know in Shanghai, when you get a park view room, they have like a channel that you can listen to, so you can listen to Illuminations when it's going off. Even though
No,
much the Shanghai Disney is that it's like way, way, way further away than the Disneyland Hotel.
put it in a suggestion box. Maybe they'll listen to you. It sounds like
There's
a good idea, though.
suggestion
I'm not gonna
box.
lie.
Where is
No.
the suggestion box?
I don't know. Twitter, TOP
Viv,
home.
Viv is the suggestion box. I had a question, but now I forgot. Sorry.
To be fair,
yes.
Patrick,
Do
it really
you know
sounds like a good idea.
what time of the year is it the cheapest to get a one of the suites with castle view?
I have no idea.
Second week of January.
I was thinking something like that, like January, February.
Then I'll talk to you after the show. I'll let you know.
Okay.
Because it changes.
Well, that could be fun. We could get a whole suite and like share it between all of us. How many people can you pack in there? Like 8,
3.
10? Oh.
You could do a podcast from the suite.
No one has to know. Elliot can sleep under the coffee table. And,
well, let me say it differently. It depends on the suite. Like the cheapest ones, it's up to 2 adults and a baby. Then you've got some with like sofa. This is for all the hotels, like in general. They've got bed like rooms for 3 plus a baby, and then you've got the presidential ones. And well, if you've got a lot of money, they can do stuff for that. If you
how do you know most
so that's
rooms?
Like the official answer.
How do I know all the rooms? Because
normal rooms fit 4, but a suite fits 2 or 3. That's not a good deal.
Well, it depends.
We do have plans to get the Spider-Man suite at Hotel New York and fit at least 8 people in there.
Well, it could, but because of the maximum capacity, like that differs. That's why I'm saying like the presidential suites, they obviously count differently, but they will put a maximum of 4 adults for that, just for the sake of it. But like whenever there is someone very important, obviously they can add beds if that's what they want. But yeah, the whole suite thing is a difficult situation thing.
So you can get like 4 people in the Sleeping Beauty suite, but actually like 50.
I think Sleeping Beauty is for 4 people anyways.
Yeah,
I'll have to check my photos.
Floor, if like you fill the floor with beds, well, not even beds, just people lying on the floor.
I would lie on the floor because the ceiling is gorgeous.
All right.
Cracked it.
Okay, so inflatable beds. Take inflatable beds then, yeah.
We're the ones walking around the DLH with like bedding.
Well, like
don't mind me.
That's the thing about though, is that like there's not really stopping you from like, say you have a room, there's not really stopping you from like literally just having like 18 people coming in the room, like let's all just sleep in a 4-person room. Like there's not really stopping anyone unless you make loads and loads of noise.
I mean, at DLH, you have, if you're Castle Club, there's a lot of security and concierge service and this and that. If you come in with like 10 people, they'd be like, "Excuse me, where are you going?"
Not in
I mean,
that's
true.
Experience.
Well, it's true.
Oh, yeah, am I talking from experience? No.
Yes, Jeff.
Oh, Jeff is talking from experience. Okay, yeah.
We know that story, Jeff.
Oh, is that the Fan Days story?
Yeah, I don't even know how we got up there, but we did.
Okay. Well, here we go. We don't need to know more about that. So that was our segment about Disney Illuminations. David, are you still there? You haven't seen anything. You haven't said anything nice about Disney Illuminations.
I get a lot more night rides in Big Thunder Mountain since Illumination started.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's a positive, sort of.
I like the Pirates of the Caribbean bit there. That's a nice thing to say.
Yeah, that's true. It's a nice scene.
Yeah.
But it's modeled after the movie, right?
Yeah, it's got fire and the soundtrack's really good, so it's one of the better bits, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So more questions. Sorry, I have to find the tweet now. Oh, actually, we have a question from the Mixler chat, which is quite interesting. It might be a bit of a debate. I don't know. I guess me and Jeff can answer that one. I don't know.
I've just seen it.
Yeah.
What's the question?
It's actually. We've lost. Okay. Well, we had anyway. The question is, sorry. Has the InsidEARS initiative helped bring together the social fan community, or did it increase competitiveness? Is that right to say it? Competition. Thank you.
No, so we can talk from being in it, but other people in this can talk from watching it. kind of.
Yeah, true. I feel personally, I think it started in a quite a rocky way. I think it was not really well received by most of the established fan sites at the time.
Event, wasn't there, as well? There was
Sorry?
that event where there was the event in whatever it was, May 2018, I want to say, where I remember I was talking to you before it, and we kind of came up with the whole thing that we're just not going to talk about it because we don't feel like people need to know about it, because it's really nothing that they weren't already doing. They just put a label on it. So we got to the event and they just slapped a hashtag on it and went, tweet using InsidEARS. I was like, okay, what, why?
Yeah, like the question is, does InsidEARS need to be like a brand, basically?
A brand.
And I don't know, I mean, there's different, I feel like now that we're like, over 2 years into the program, well, first of all, the established fan accounts at the time, which I was part of, but also a lot of the French ones did not like InsidEARS because they were viewing it as basically opening the door to so many more people and trying to make this was, like you said, Jeff, this was basically an email list that was just ran by TLP Comms, and we used to get emails periodically, definitely not as many as InsidEARS, but
we'd get maybe 1, maybe 2 a week, something like that.
Yeah, sometimes even less than that, I feel.
They'd go dark for like weeks and weeks.
Yeah, if there was nothing. And so I think a lot of people who were on that list were not very happy because, it became like this whole brand and this whole thing, and all those new people came in. But I don't know, going like 2 years later, I feel like everyone in a Disneyland Paris fan community has an angle and has a thing and has a style, and you can like it or not. Like some people do a lot of like memes and like post like shopping things, or everyone has different types of contents, and and some people do live reports like we do, and some people are more into like Imagineering and geeky things, and some people are into characters, and some people are. So I feel like every fan account is different, and over the years I feel like InsidEARS may have helped those people to get better quality content and also maybe find their voice. And in the end, I think there's room for everyone. And of course, competitiveness, it existed before InsidEARS, and I don't think it has really changed anything. On Disney's side, I feel like InsidEARS is definitely a way to there's definitely a way to try to control what fan sites are saying. There was always a problem with fan sites, leaking projects and talking about things, but I think that's just one part of it. The other part is they want fan sites and they want social media to be more accurate and more qualitative. So by sending a lot of press releases, photos and info and all this and that, they can help people make better contents. And obviously at first everyone was copying and pasting, and they try to tell people don't copy and paste what we send you if possible. Try to make your own content, try to spin it, try to make it more interesting, or just use it in whatever context of what you're doing. What is your voice? What is your angle? What is your concept for your site, or your page, or your whatever? And I think people are getting better at that. At first it was really kind of a train wreck. People were just copy pasting everything.
Yeah.
But I think it's helped in a way to sort of have better content out there and like make people a bit more serious about running those pages, I guess. But I mean,
and I think that you have to find the stuff that interests you, and you have to sort of think a little bit about your audience. A little bit when they post these things. So today, for instance, they posted something about a mechanic, which is great, but I find it interesting. But I sort of realized that probably the people who are reading my page probably don't find it as interesting as I do.
Yeah,
and
same.
so I just don't post it. Like it's not because I think that the content is low quality. I just think that there is a time and a place for that piece of content, and my page is probably not it.
I think from a fan point of view, I suppose, because I'm outside looking in, if you like. So it's like at first you are deluging us with the same information, because that's the big joke about it, isn't it? But now it has calmed down, and people aren't in such a rush to be the first to post it. It seems people have calmed down a whole lot, and not necessarily here's a new pin release, quick, get it out there.
I think there's definitely like the big news that everyone is going to post at the same time, but everything else you have to just like read it and first decide if you want to post it, and if you want to post it, how do you want to post it, and what do you want to do with it? You know, it doesn't mean that it's not always like first come first serve. There's definitely an element of timing, that's for sure, because people, if they see the same information 3 times, they'll probably get excited about seeing it the first time, maybe not the 15th time. But a lot of the content is not really necessarily time sensitive, and also I've realized that sometimes if you just wait half a day, like if it comes out in the morning and you post it in the afternoon, a lot of people are not on Twitter literally every minute of every day, and if you post it in the afternoon, you might have even maybe a bigger audience of like the 20 different sites
bigger impact, isn't it? Bigger impact.
20 people that post it at the same time in the morning, you know. So there's all those consideration that I hope people are starting to understand.
It took people a long time to learn that as well, to get into that groove, if you like, and it seems to have got there now.
Yeah, I also take a judgment call of when they post something. So again, going back to this morning's post about the engineer or mechanic. I take a judgment of what I think Disneyland Paris are going to put on their own accounts, and I try to steer away from it because I don't want to be... I'm not here to be the mouthpiece of Disneyland Paris's public relations. Like, I will post things that I think people should find interesting or are useful to them. So
I think that
the annual passes go up in price, that's a piece of useful information for them, and that's a piece of information that I will share.
I think that's the thing, though, as well, though, like, at the start when InsidEARS became a thing, I think, like, because obviously there's, like, different degrees of fandom, and I feel like for a lot of people who were following all the accounts, like Euro Disney on Twitter and Disneyland Paris on Twitter and all of these types of things, I remember at the start, a lot of people were like, well, you know, like, you know, the whole, like, title of influencer, I know InsidEARS doesn't...
I don't like that.
Yeah, even though I know it's not necessarily the thing, but like even just in like 2020 as influencers is a thing, but like when you do have like there's a high degree of fandom in like Disneyland Paris, there are people who are like super into it and people who are less into it, and I feel like at the start the people who were super into it were like, well, what the hell, like, because like it's kind of hard, like fan sites can relay information, but a lot of it won't be as like an influencer kind of type role, because there's like severe fans that are kind of like, they will make up their own mind and they will go and they will try it and they don't need someone to tell them, oh, it was great, blah, blah, blah. So like, I felt like at the start that was like a big thing, but now it's kind of getting a bit, I feel like the things that come out through, like as someone who looks at on Twitter, I feel like the things that come out through InsidEARS are more interesting and are not, it's actual proper news and not just, hey, buy this thing because it's cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
you're right. It was that for a long time. It was, here's a new pin. Oh, we got new snacks coming out or something, and everybody deluged us with it. And it's just like, yeah, whatever. But yeah, it is more news focused now. Yeah, seems to be.
I mean, that's still going to happen every time they launch a season. We'll get all the snacks and we'll get all the the things.
And we'll still be deluged with it, but that's okay because we're used to that now.
But then it goes back to the same thing. It's like when someone sends you a PDF of 30 pages of snacks. You know, are you gonna cut them all one by one and do 30 tweets about it, or are you gonna try and like post an article that explains all the different category of snacks? Are you gonna like try to do
something with it,
to make something interesting that reflects more what your page is about, or you just do the highlights of them and then maybe direct people to like the full lists, or like do a bit of editorial. And also,
I think also
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, it's okay. You go ahead.
No, I was going to say about being, like you said, Jeff, about being DLP's mouthpiece. Believe it or not, and I know some people will not believe what I'm going to say, but Disneyland Paris doesn't judge us on like us reposting everything they send us. Like there's no like score of like, oh well, like they haven't posted that information we sent them. Like we don't have to post anything if we don't want to. Of course they look at what we post. Of course they look at what we do. But they're, like the Sequoia woman said, they're human beings, and they're, and you'll get the joke if you know the song. And they read our content every day, and I think it's a very overall like approach of looking at what everyone is posting, and they'll just judge you, quote unquote, based on how you use the content and what is your voice. And you have people like Maureen. She does a French language site, so you may not know her, but Maureen from Hello Disneyland. She is not someone who posts all the time. She's rarely the first one to post any type of info, but she always has like a girly side, and she makes a nice article. She has a cute site. She makes videos, like vlogs and all that kind of stuff with information, and they love her. And she's one of the rare female voices in the fan community and all this and that, and she's doing great because she has her own voice and her whole content, and she might not post everything that they send her, but I don't think that's the point. That's not, the point is not to control the information coming out. It's just like it's a proposition. Here's some content, do what you want with it, and then they'll see what everyone's doing,
But I have two sort of follow-ups on that. Sorry.
Go ahead, Jeff. Or
so follow-up on that was I've had conversations with people who work in communications at Disneyland Paris, and it's not a case that they only want to hear the positive. They are quite interested in the negative as well, in a sort of cautious way. I remember I was going to something a few months ago. You may have seen it, and I had a massive rant about the shuttle between the airport and the resort. And I got picked up on it, more of a, we didn't know that was a thing. We'll feed that back. Like that's a useful piece of communication. They want to know what's actually happening at the resort, because if you're sat in an office, sometimes you don't have that feet on the ground. Like, how many people from the head office are going to take the bus from the airport to the resort as a guest? Not many, barely any, probably.
No one.
Yeah, so that kind of piece of information is useful to them.
Yeah.
And then secondly, InsidEARS has also seen the budget for stuff go up as well. So you like those, I know we didn't have it this year because of various reasons.
This is exactly what I was going to say.
Where they come out with a ton of new news. So last year you got the Jungle Book Jive sort of preview thing. You get the snack preview. You get a little bit of news
over
about
the Imagineer in charge for Marvel Land to give a presentation. Right.
And myself and Ben, we went on the environment tour last year.
That was fun. We went to the water treatment plants.
All of
that was cool.
They would not have happened.
And the geothermic plants at Village Nature. That was cool too. And what else?
Yeah, and those things wouldn't have happened.
Yeah. It smelled a bit, but it was cool.
It's glamorous.
It was really cool to see.
Because at the end of the day, it's not feasible for every single person in the fan community to do that. But it's nice that there's now the opportunity for that to be made into content for people to experience that.
Yeah, and
you've got the photo hunts they did as well with the closed parks. That's a really cool piece of content that people like pictures of the parks empty, and InsidEARS has allowed the communications team to create those kind of events.
Yeah, and when they pick people for events, obviously they look at how much audience do you have, but they also try to tailor it to the type of content and the type of audience you have. So that's why you and I went on Environment, because we have. I mean, obviously, I was under a different brand, but we were both sites that were sort of news, fan, sort of like geeky fan news side of things.
Behind the scenes kind of stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and so that's how we got to go to that. And, the various sites get invited to various things, and they have bigger parties where everyone's invited, so everyone can get something out of it. Because some of the French sites are like, Facebook group, Facebook pages who don't really necessarily report from the resort or don't really need to be on site to get news. So they get invited to all the big news conferences and all the stuff, but they can't really go to a lot of the other events. So everyone gets something out of it. But like you said, Jeff, there's more budget, which is nice. And also we get to be they have a few seats for some of the media events, which is usually, I think in the past, was mostly for actual press and media, and no one from fan sites was going to them. But
right, and InsidEARS have a little bit of a sort of reputation now internally, and so you'll find that more seats are given to the program, and sometimes if the press can't make it or something like that, those places will be given to InsidEARS rather than just going to waste.
Yeah. So yeah, overall, I mean, it's not perfect, and I think they're still learning from everything. It was definitely a learning experience, and they admitted from the start that this was like a program. We were basically like a test program, and the first 6 months was a bit chaotic and a bit of a mess, and then like after the first year, it was a bit better, and now I think it's sort of like got its like cruise speed, and it's kind of okay, I think. I have no complaints.
Yeah, there's not much happening at the moment for obvious reasons. But...
For right now, no. Yeah. I mean, right now they're doing the same thing that we all doing, which is trying to, make some fun content for everyone while the parks are closed. So they said, they do those
and
watch
they're doing
parties.
a pretty decent job as well. They're doing, like you said, the watch parties. They come up with like word searches sometimes, and photo hunts. There's some really cool little ideas.
And I think the fan sites are doing really well as well. They're keeping it going, keeping the interest going, having a bit of fun with it as well, which I think is really important. As long as you're having some fun with it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It's been like 10 weeks now, and it's starting to become a bit of a challenge to find new things to talk about. But we have a new character feature today. Chip and Dale have made the entrance after Minnie and Donald.
The Vivian is happy. Yeah.
I know, I am.
I just thought I would have people vote yesterday because I couldn't decide. But I think after Chip and Dale will be Mickey because finding one different outfit for a character every single day is actually a lot of work, even when you have a whole team of people who are character fans. But yeah, so hopefully
it's hard to keep the content going because there is only a finite thing you can talk about. Like, we love it, and there are a lot to talk about, of course, but it's every day finding something a little bit new, a little bit different. It's not easy.
And like our Imagineering series has been doing really well, and I think we've been going for a month now, and obviously it's getting harder and harder to find some new and exciting things, but we still have quite a few to go, so we'll see how long I can keep up with that series. But yeah, it's been cool. And I guess when the parks reopen, InsidEARS will reopen as well. Maybe they'll have some welcome back meetup or something. I don't know.
Social distancing party.
The social distancing party.
Do you think like InsidEARS and all that are gonna the way we used to have like the big news thing on like the 12th of April or thereabouts? That was kind of a thing that they were going for. Do you think that like basically 2020 is just a write off, and that any kind of cool new news is just going to be in April 2021?
Yeah.
Well, I
feel like
maybe not, but
Marvel
for sure.
Marvel Land is going to need to be announced, but I feel like I don't know, like when you get stink like January.
I feel like they need to work out what they're doing themselves first, like when it's going to open, stuff like that.
Yeah, I think right now they're really busy trying to set up the plan and the social distancing measures and the bookings and the refunds and and what to open, how much to open.
They've started preliminary works though on Avengers Campus stuff, like ish.
Yeah, so Avengers Campus I think is back in, but like the big crane is not moving, but apparently there is some activity on the ground. So good.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Hotel New York hasn't moved yet, but hopefully soon. I feel like Hotel New York is definitely like a September or October type of deal now, because they were already late, and they were barely going to make June 15 with like a quarter of the hotel open. So now that they've been stuck for 2 months, I think it's definitely going to be a September, October.
But then it begs the question: do they just wait till next summer until they're opening it in October?
No, definitely not.
Really?
I will say that.
I think the press event.
They've got too many people booked.
Summer.
Do you think they would still have a press event for it?
Yeah, I think they'll do a flat.
Or just throw it into the Marvel Land press event and have it.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what they'll do. I think they might do a Tower of Terror where it might be open for guests, but for press it will officially open maybe next summer, the same weekend as Avengers Campus.
Yeah, and something we were talking about this afternoon is that maybe Disneyland Paris will manage to find a way around that, or maybe they can negotiate with them. I don't know the details of French law, but unions will have to be notified 4 to 5 weeks before cast members go back to work. So I don't know how that's going to work because, unions can't keep their mouth shut. So as soon as they give them notice, we'll know. But then if we have to wait 4 or 5 weeks until it actually opens, it sounds like kind of a weird process. But
it sounds like that's kind of the let's sit down and talk about how we're going to keep you guys safe sort of period.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, if they start doing that when they get the green light to open, I mean that they're going to waste, quote unquote, a month of being allowed to be open if they have to wait for the unions to give their green light. So hopefully they can negotiate with them so that the cast members can go back as soon as possible, maybe within a couple of weeks, and not have to wait a month and a half, because that would be a bit silly. Especially
but they don't get training.
Well,
is every cast member a part of a union though?
No, but
so just be if the unions are negotiating when their members can go back to work, that won't really affect anyone that isn't part of a union, would it?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how it works in France. I feel like if the union have not given their go-ahead for employees in general to go back to work, then they might not be able to. I don't know.
No, I'm pretty sure Patrick's right. It would only affect people who are in the union.
Yeah. But then it would create a mess. So like some people go back to work.
Yeah, you've got the whole thing about crossing the picket line and all that sort of nonsense.
Yeah, but that's dependent on if there's a picket line, because a picket line isn't a picket line that whole idea isn't that when there's a strike?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the unions would definitely call a strike.
Yeah, but but don't they have to? They have to they have to vote. I don't know about this union in general, but I know in the union that I am a part of in my job in France, I know that the union doesn't decide to go on strike. The union has to you have to have a vote, and it has to be, they have to give a préavis, they have to give warnings that they're going to go.
Yeah, they need to vote. That's
for
sure.
I don't know. I'm not saying, because I 100% don't know the technicalities of it, and I'm just basically going off my experience. But, the picket line thing is even at that, because I've been on teachers have been on strike in France before, and I didn't want to go on strike, so I just went to work, and there was no physical picket line that I crossed. Whereas before I worked in a job in Ireland and I worked in a supermarket, and the people went on strike, and there was a physical line that you could not cross. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to work because I'm not going to cross a picket line. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think they won't want to annoy the unions too much, because I think it's probably just more bothered than it's actually worth.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
All that fun to come.
Yeah, we'll have a lot to talk about. Next question. We have a question from Eduardo, who's nice sending questions every week.
Hi, Eduardo.
The first time.
Hi, Eduardo.
The first one I quite like is the PhotoPass still on quarantine?
Well, the answer is yes.
It's sitting there on life support on a ventilator somewhere.
Right. So the PhotoPass site still not back. Still not back. Okay, and he
nearly
says,
2 months.
But it won't be back until they actually go back to work. So don't expect it to be back until the park reopens, or at least cast members go back to work.
What if you want to take a look back at your photos and stuff? Can they open a new site with your photos already in it?
They've already been lost.
Oh, are these all gone? Oh, Jesus.
They can't do anything at the moment.
Why though? It's computer. They can do it from home.
Because even if you email them, you get an automatic reply saying that they're not working. Because we emailed, because we also had questions about the cast member PhotoPass, whether that gets extended, the amount of days, blah blah blah, just like PhotoPass, but they never give an answer.
Great.
Probably wasn't the best time to transfer to a new system. All things considered.
Well, must have been well, it's your problem now.
Hindsight is a great thing, and
But here's the thing that I don't understand, right? So, hindsight, yes, but the resort closed on March 17th. That's when you kind of have a good idea that it's pretty bad. You had 2 or 3 weeks to negotiate with Fujifilm just to keep the service alive.
Yeah, but let's say, give them the benefit of the doubt, they negotiated. I'm sure there's nothing made Fujifilm to say, okay, yeah, Fujifilm could have been just like, nope, we've signed a contract to say that it's ending on 1st of April, and it's ending on 1st of April. So, devil's advocate, there's no way that we can know. But, at the end of the day, it was way too late regardless to kind of figure out, do you know?
All right. So, Eduardo also asked, what is the future of PhotoPass with social distancing? Are we still going to have PhotoPass photographers, the few that we had, and are they all going to be replaced by a box, or like how's that going to work? You have to give you a card to them?
That is a good question.
Are they going to like scan the card from a distance and just be like, beep?
Well, I'm pretty sure they could do that contactless.
They can do that. Yeah, it's like going into a shop, isn't it? Just tapping almost.
I guess. Yeah.
You still have to potentially pay with card for things.
Particularly for us who can't do chip and pin in that much in France.
Yeah. I know a lot of locations here in London are stop accepting cash, and so that you don't have, So I wonder if Disneyland Paris will not accept cash when they reopen. That's actually a good question.
Tap. I know it's like way behind everywhere else, but because of the situation, they rushed through like legislation to make your tap limit be 50 instead of, I think it was 30 before. So it's not
higher than ours now.
But it's still 50.
Yeah. All right. Well, we should take another musical break because I've completely forgot about music with this all discussions about InsidEARS and everything. The next one is from David. David, what is your song selection?
I chose Mickey and the Magical Map. I'm not a big Princess fan, but I like the Princess medley in that show, so I chose that bit.
All right. So we'll be right back in 3 minutes after the Princess medley from Mickey and the Magical Map.
What I love most about rivers is you can't step in the same river twice. The water's always changing, always flowing. But people like us can't live like that. We all must pay a price. To be safe, we lose our chance of ever knowing what's around the river bend, waiting just around the river bend. I am once more just around the river bend, beyond the shore, where the gulls play free. Don't know what for, what I dream the day might send, just around the river bend for me. Coming with me, standing straight back at me. Why is my reflection someone I don't know? Somehow I cannot hide who I am, though I've tried. When will my reflection show who I am inside? When will my reflection show who I am inside? All those days watching from the windows, all those years outside looking in, all that time never even knowing just how blind I've been.
Now she's here, shining in the starlight. Now she's here, suddenly I know. If she's here, it's crystal clear. I'm where I'm meant to go.
And at last I see the light.
And it's like the fog has lifted.
And at last I see the light. And it's like the sky is blue. And it's warm and real and
Right, and the world has somehow
shifted. All at once, everything is different. Now that I see all my dreaming at an end.
It's on its way.
Hi, we're back.
We're having an app conversation.
That was kind of like cut off right at the end of that song. Thankfully, I had already put the ice cream back in the freezer. So, you're having an app conversation.
Yeah.
Well, like the PhotoPass
I would
app.
say I was saying now that the regular app actually is quite pretty. The DLP app.
Yeah.
Like, it just needs the last bit of functionality, and I think it'll be there.
Yeah. They just need the back end. And that's funny because the next question is about this.
Yeah, that's how we got onto it.
I will find the next question. God, I am so prepared. Would the reopening be easier if DLP was technologically up to date, like avoiding lines at the restaurants with mobile order and avoiding the FastPass machines with virtual ones? And Jeff, you even replied that you like this question, so you go ahead.
Well, yeah. It's really... So we were having a chat earlier because Disneyland have been surveying annual pass holders and guests from the local area today.
Oh, that's right.
And they've been asking some really, really interesting questions, actually. One about, hey, if Disneyland offered a home delivery food service, would you use it? If I lived in Anaheim, heck yeah.
Every day. Bring me all the goodies.
To home. Yes, please. But also they've been talking about what features in the app would make you more or less likely to visit the resort. And some of the things they've come up with, I think, are really interesting. So one of the ones that I think they're pretty proud about is ordering merchandise on an application. So you don't have to go to the shop and touch get the right one and touch like, oh, I like this or I don't like that. You go to your app, you order the merchandise items you want, and then you just walk up to a cashier and go, look, I ordered, and they'll just bring the stuff to you. Which I think is a really cool idea.
But I mean, some of the fun of shopping at Disney parks is also to like peruse and look at the shelves and see what's new and see what you like. Which,
sure, some of the fun of going to Disney parks is hugging Mickey. Like, we're in a really weird situation where these things we have to adapt to.
Oh, you mean like in that
ways.
situation where you don't want to be... Well, like you mean like guests would actually not be allowed to touch the stuff inside the store?
Right, and I think they're looking... Because you're not technically able to in Shanghai, but people are. And I think they're looking at ways where they can facilitate you not doing that.
Yeah. Or maybe if you reserve your merchandise in advance, they can get you one from the back that hasn't been touched.
Right, yeah.
It might also be a valuable thing for some people who don't want merchandise that's been touched by everyone.
Yeah, and they have recently been pretty open about the fact that the Rise of the Resistance boarding groups are being rolled out as virtual queues for quite a lot of attractions.
Yeah.
Which means that you will not have to wait in queue and worry about standing 2 meters apart in the queue. You will just get told when to go to the attraction, and you'll ride it.
I mean, it's the whole like eliminate standby movement.
Right.
Are you having more chocolate?
No.
And they've had mobile order for restaurants for yonks, and they've got fast passes on the app as well. Everything is very digital at Disneyland.
I think that Disneyland is like where we should be aiming at, but where we are compared to their app, we are like very much at the start of this massive journey. And like it would be really cool. It'd be really cool, like if we could, but like things like like home delivery for like certain foods, whatever. There's literally no food in Disneyland Paris that I want to eat in Paris in my own home. It's like
no,
you mean you don't want a Nutella cookie?
All the food I eat in Paris is because I can't get anything else that I like better. So I'm like, I have to eat this.
But
I do think though a lot of stuff is like, I think where Disneyland Resorts app is now is definitely where we should wanting to be in like maximum a year. Like we want to be where they are with. We want to be like but like that because like you can give the team the benefit of the doubt, but at the end of the day, you just have to knuckle down and get the work done and just make it happen.
Is this the opportunity though now with what's coming up?
I think
is this now the time for
I don't know because
the company to go
closed,
money,
so they're
money.
not working. So what the hell, man?
Well, no, the app people are working. I think like stuff's been going on the app. Stuff has been going on the app, like new stuff during this time.
Yeah.
But I think the issue is that the Disneyland Paris systems are very much not up to date. So
that's what I was going to say. Yeah.
You need
Checking into your
everything,
hotel.
It is a major.
everything to connect.
It's a major back-end / hardware problems for hotels, for FastPass, for merchandise shops, attractions. All those systems are like on MS-DOS or Windows 95, and they're all different systems that are not connected. Like the FastPass system is like a closed-off system that
we have some breaking news.
Has
What?
layers. Oh, what is it? What is it?
Kevin Mayer has resigned as head of streaming at Disney and has become chief executive of TikTok.
Oh, really?
What?
Wait, isn't he the one who like worked on
He was the
Disney
one who
Plus?
he got passed over for the promotion.
Yeah, he's resigned effective immediately.
Huh.
That's a shame
Interesting.
because he was the guy who acquired Marvel. He was the guy who acquired Lucasfilm. He was the guy who acquired Pixar. He did a lot of stuff. So he's a real loss, in my opinion.
Well, that's what happens when you promote JPEG.
Mm-hmm.
People don't want to be around someone that's not really appreciated.
Especially when your product launch is probably the most successful thing Disney have done for years.
Well, here we go.
Anyway, back to the app.
Right, back to the app. So we could have merchandise reserved in advance so that if you want a Sven plush that hasn't been touched by Patrick, for example.
They're out of stock.
That's going to be Mission Impossible
because you touch all of them.
I get into the back and I'm like, I just jump into them. I'm like, hi.
I mean, in an ideal world, you should be able to like see a piece of merch in a shop, like order it on the app and it be in your hotel room. But yeah.
But I mean, to go back to the question, like now would be an amazing time to have technology up to date, and sadly we don't. And I think we will be heavily penalized compared to Shanghai, Disney World, Disneyland. I don't think Tokyo is really that up to date when it comes to that kind of stuff, but they have.
They are.
They have the new readers. That's right. Yeah. What about Hong Kong? Does Hong Kong have those things?
No, Hong Kong's a bit meh.
I think.
But I feel like we're way behind because the whole crisis is going to be solved in the US thanks to technology. I can tell, like it's already in progress. Like there's going to be almost like Jeff, like you said, they're going to use boarding groups. There's going to be almost no standby, and you're just going to be outside social distance until it is time for you to go to your attraction. How is that going to work in Paris when you have to like wipe your AP for 10 minutes on the FastPass machine to get a paper ticket then you're going to give to someone? Like, how is this going to work?
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think of that.
I mean, they'll be wearing gloves they probably will just check, like make you show the ticket and then have like a bin where you just throw in your FastPass.
Maybe, yeah. So they don't have to touch it.
So that they don't have to touch it.
But how do you get it issued?
How do you what? You can swipe your pass, or to have a cast member just manually using the key for the FastPass machine to like make one come out.
I guess.
If that makes sense.
But then you could go again and get so many FastPasses if you don't.
But I just think the unfortunate thing, as we see with the cost of My Magic Plus, like to roll that out across Disney World costs like $4 billion.
Yeah, but I mean, there are other ways to do it that are cheaper. I think Disney World was the first to do it, and they had a lot of R&D, and they also installed those readers, like those hardwired pole readers everywhere. I think there's definitely ways to make this easier and cheaper with mobile terminals, that if you just give a cast member with a mobile terminal at every FastPass entrance, there you go. You can deploy that and resort in one day.
I think I don't know how Shanghai got around this problem, but I'm sure they have it in some way. FastPass queuing, not so much distribution actually, is going to be really tricky in Paris, because if you look at Big Thunder Mountain, it either merges into the queue or stands right next to the queue. And it happens basically everywhere that I can think of.
How about they don't use FastPass at all?
Breaking news. Just to go on what Jeff was saying, apparently Rebecca Campbell has been named Disney's chairman of Disney's direct-to-consumer and international division. She's the head of Disney.
Really?
Replacing longtime Disney exec Kevin Mayer, who is leaving to be CEO of TikTok. Josh D'Amaro has been named chairman.
He got it.
And products.
Yes, it's good news.
is this really the right time to move people out of resort leadership positions?
He was in Walt Disney World for like 3 months.
Yeah, and same for Rebecca Campbell. But now Disneyland doesn't have a head, and Walt Disney World doesn't have a head at arguably the time that they need it.
Well, isn't Josh D'Amaro like someone that is probably the best for the job of like chairman of parks experiences and products?
He was 100%.
I feel like he's like
Josh is moving back to California.
Wow.
Hope he didn't sell his house.
He probably just Airbnb'd up with Catherine.
No, but like Rebecca Campbell will be very good in that job because that's what she did in London. So she's essentially like that's her experience.
Yeah, I think they're really good moves. I don't know right now is the best time to move people out of resort president positions just because they are right now planning some pretty major stuff.
But does that mean they take Natasha? I don't know. She's next technically. No, Joe Scott or someone like that will go to Disneyland or Disney World. Maybe
Natasha's not going to Disney.
Pardon?
There's no way Natasha's going to Disneyland. Do you think Natasha would get going to Disneyland?
I don't know. Like, well, that's how it normally works. Like,
it's everyone works that way once.
Sorry, more breaking news.
David.
They do have presidents. So somebody called, I don't know these people, Jeff Val is president of Walt Disney World Resort. And Ken Potrock is president of Disneyland.
Not heard of him either.
What a time to be like. For all the people listening to the podcast on like a Thursday. Yeah, for all the people listening to the podcast on Thursday, they're like, what the hell are these people talking about? But the Monday night to get the live.
I know, we have live breaking news on this show. Who knew?
Who knew?
So Jeff Valley was president of Disney Signature Experiences.
But who's getting Disney World?
Land.
So Jeff Val was DCL and stuff like that before.
Who does?
Ken Potrock. I don't know.
I'm really happy.
I'm gonna do some LinkedIn.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's so good, so good. Such a good choice. Finally, a good choice.
If you don't follow Josh D'Amaro on Instagram, you need to do that because you just see his passion for the product, which is amazing to watch. Actually,
the Disney World guy was president of consumer products.
Oh, him. Oh.
Yeah, so Josh D'Amaro, great move. Rebecca Campbell actually has done some really interesting things in her very short tenure.
She's done so well for herself, though. Like, congrats to her.
Yeah, it's she's done some good stuff. Like today's, we're talking about a second ago. We were talking about home ordering Disneyland food. Now, if you live in the area, Disneyland food is like what all the locals go for. So it just makes sense that product would be offered.
Yeah, but do you like the thing is that they're shooting themselves in the foot because if it means you can just get it delivered to your house, it means you don't have to go to the park anymore.
They'd cut it
in
off,
California.
But as long as the park's shut, you can't go anyway.
No, I mean like if they offered it when the park was open, and then
they wouldn't do that. I don't think.
Yeah. That's
probably just like temporary.
Oh, like curbside pickup, like if you're doing that, Knott's Farm.
But see,
I think it's a really clever little idea because it's just easy money, right?
I feel like Josh's nomination is really great for us because as a Disney Parks fan, what really matters is who is chairman of Disney Parks. Of course, Walt Disney Company CEO, very important as well, and he makes very important big choices for the whole company as a whole, but I feel like for what really interests us, which is kind of like the fine details of the Disney parks, the chairman of Disney Parks has a lot of leeway and also has a lot of influence over the CEO, and we know Chapek is soft. So hopefully Josh will be able to bring him some great ideas and to bring a lot of positive things.
Come visit us in Paris.
That Bob Chapek can then approve. And yeah, please come visit Paris.
And you know that's going to be a really...
Josh has already worked with Bob Chapek pretty closely and has done still good stuff in Disneyland. So
and Disney World.
So that means
it's going to be a really good D23 Parks and Resorts next year.
Oh, right.
Ooh, yeah, we're going to get Josh at D23.
That'll be a
definitely
fun
going.
one.
Yeah.
That'll be a fun one.
But Josh is now number 2. He's like the number 2 in the Walt Disney Company. Like, that's crazy. Like, that's great.
He deserves it. He's great.
Yeah, he's great. Love him.
Like, in 15 years,
he's the next one, right?
If in 15 years it was his turn to be the CEO, that would be like a good thing for the company.
Yeah, and we would all be sitting here and praising the crap out of it.
Yeah. Finally, some good news at Disney.
Michael Colgazer must be pissed.
Well, yeah. So I guess he's still between Josh and Natasha.
Natasha, yeah. And what happened to George Calagrider? Like.
Well, didn't he get sidelined off to some like?
But do we have a new president for Disney World? Who is it?
Yeah, we had this a second ago.
The ex-head of consumer products. So the head of Disney Store.
Okay.
So Jeff Valley.
Yeah.
This is good. I'm really sort of optimistic about this.
Yeah, already like all the American fans and cast members really
positive.
So
Ken Potrock is named president of Disneyland Resort.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think this is really good. Like, yeah, just come visit us in Paris, see what's wrong, and have some fun.
And Disney World is who? I'm going to make my tweets, so help me.
Okay, I can send you a list here. Hold on.
No, I just need the Disney World one.
So Disney World is Jeff Varley, Vahle, named president of Walt Disney World Resort.
Now the people that are listening on Thursday aren't that mad that they didn't listen on Monday because they're just listening twice.
This is where you have the news, people.
Yeah, you've got Ken Potrock, which is named president of Disneyland Resort. That's Potrock, Ken Potrock.
What do we know about Kareem Daniel?
Kareem Daniel, named president of Consumer Products, Games and Publishing.
That could be a really interesting one, but I don't know who he is.
Well,
got his bio up.
Thomas Maslum, named president of Disney Signature Experiences.
Oh, Kareem Daniel is president of Walt Disney Imagineering Operations, Product Creation, Publishing, Games. That's interesting. So Imagineering is in his portfolio. He oversees global design and delivery of all parks, attractions, resort hotels, cruise ships, managing world-class talent to create usual rubbish. He used to be Senior Vice President, Strategy and Business Development for Consumer Products and Interactive Media. Okay.
Wow. I don't know this Jeff Valley at Disney World. I don't know.
If you're interested, dpep.disney.com, they have already updated all the bios.
Have they? Because I'm like on the page and they haven't.
Oh, they just published it. Right now.
And that Jeff Valley guy was
Ken Potrock still says President Consumer Products. Or maybe I need to
Kareem Daniel is updated.
Okay, well.
Oh no, the actual leadership page still says Bob Chapek.
Okay, I think you might have. I don't know. I think going through them at the moment.
I don't know. I'm doing only the. It's you get an insight as to what happens in fan sites when news comes in. It's really what's going on, except you have it live now. No, I'm only doing the resorts, so I just did Jeff Valley for Walt Disney World Resort and Ken Potrock for Disneyland Resort.
Kareem Daniel's pretty important. I mean, he's looking after Imagineering, so.
Is he? Oh, Jesus. Wait, the president of Imagineering has changed as well?
No. So he's overseeing delivery of Imagineering products, whereas Bob Weiss is still president of Imagineering.
So, Bob Weiss is president of creative, and this guy's president of business, essentially.
Okay. Well, I think that's all good news.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know much about the resort presidents, but
don't know much about them either.
People, it's an interesting choice because normally for those two, they give it to people who have been presidents of resorts before or worked in that park before, like as the Dell court.
Yeah,
which is interesting.
But that's
I'd be interested to see how the resort presidents kind of evolve. But leadership wise, I think it's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's also quite interesting how Rebecca Campbell has been moved out of parks already. That feels weird.
But I feel like Kevin
She was
Mayer
cute. She had a good time, I think, at Disneyland Resort. But I mean, I don't know. I can only judge by her Instagram.
So that Jeff Valley guy currently oversees facility and operations services for Disney theme parks worldwide. So that might be why they moved him over to Disney World.
That makes sense because Disney World is such a machine that you need someone who knows a lot about that stuff.
And he's also the head of DVC and Olani and DCL and Adventures by Disney.
Okay.
So he did quite a lot.
He seemed quite competent.
Does this mean that basically Natasha is with us until at least a campus launches?
So they've reconfirmed the roles of Michael Colgazer, George Kalogridis, Bob Weiss. It's just been reconfirmed. So
what about Natasha?
The press release makes.
She's not part of the executive team. She's part because she's under Colgazer. They only view the president of Disneyland, Disney World as part of the executive team. So
snap. That's cool.
Yeah.
But like the only way I can see Natasha going anywhere is if Shanghai needs someone because she was part of the creation of that park. She knows about the structure. So that's why I thought if Joe Scott got promoted, then they might have whipped her off to Shanghai. But yeah, no.
Yeah, I think we're stuck with Natasha for a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's going to be here to do the dirty work and lead the expansion and do all that kind of stuff. And then I think eventually they'll put someone who will be maybe a little bit less corporate.
Ooh.
I don't know. But I think, someone has to do the hard work, and right now it's a pandemic and it's a hard time and there's a lot of money involved and planning and budgets, and she might not be the biggest PR person, but I think she knows her way around numbers and around how to manage all this stuff, so maybe she can ensure that we don't sink at least, and then we'll see. I don't know. I know she's not everyone's favorite, but
no, but I feel like the good thing about this is because up until recently, with the acquisition of by the Walt Disney Company of Euro Disney SCA, I feel like the good thing about this is I was thinking about this the other day, and maybe I'm exaggerating, but if we still had this shareholder system in place, this kind of closure that has been unplanned and whatever, this closure could have been fatal for Disneyland Paris because already things weren't super great.
Yeah, could you imagine the share price?
Could you because we were already close enough to closing once. I was thinking this could have knocked the resort out for good. Do you know what I mean?
Or Disney are now really better, and they could have got the buyout for even cheaper.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if Disney had bought Disneyland Paris this month, they would have had it for €10.
Well, the share price was already $4.50 or something. I think a share.
Yeah,
something like that.
It could have gone to in the pennies.
I think that's the premium that they paid. I think it was only €1.50.
Yeah.
No, they paid €2. They paid €2 per share, and that was already worth a lot more than what it was trading at. So I think Elliot was right in the fact that it was about $1.50 or even less, and they paid.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? When I feel when the Walt Disney Company bought Disneyland Paris, they were looking for someone. We had Catherine at first, but I think eventually Walt Disney Company was looking for someone who could clean up the accounts. 26 years or 25 years of. Shareholder and banks and loans and just messy finances and people's too many people in some places, not enough people in other places. I think they needed someone who knew their way around the spreadsheets.
And I think that's the best thing. That's the best thing about Natasha. If she can at least bring like a bit of stability to the books, it means whoever's going to take over from her is going to have a bit of a clean sheet to work with compared to.
They're going to inherit something quite strong and bring someone creative in next time.
And we were on the way there because before this whole pandemic, on one of the quarters, if I remember it well, we were the only Disney park to be profitable, to turn a profit or to have some kind of positive thing. When like the US was plagued by the whole Galaxy's Edge problems, and Hong Kong was basically shut down by protests, and Shanghai we don't talk about because I don't think it makes money. And then it was Paris who was just giving profits that we paid for with all the purchases. But hey,
so Paris was sitting at about 5 years a share for quite a long time.
Who's rearranging their house behind the Daniel's?
It's me getting a drink.
Okay. Is it alcoholic?
Maybe.
Oh, good. Here you go. All right. See? TLP Report Podcast After Dark, Episode 1.
Cheers, Viv.
Okay, well, see? Great news tonight. Very happy about all these choices. I don't even know if we have any more questions or if we should just end on this great note.
Basically, if we stay if we stay on the air long enough, some news will eventually just have to happen.
We're just gonna be live for 24 hours a day now, and eventually you'll get some breaking news.
Well, we're quite lucky because we're usually finished by about now. So
yeah. I mean, we've been going for 2.5 hours, so I think on this news, I think it'd be a good time to close the show. Yes? No? Yes? Anyone else?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm still
Viv already has her end of show cocktail and just ready to go. So the last song that
someone
we have...
replied with a cropped picture of Philippe Gas's face too.
I know. Someone replied to my tweet with Philippe Gas's smile. He does have a bit of a Philippe Gas smile, but no one can replace Philippe Gas's smile. You need
the Colgate smile.
Yeah, you need to be over tan all the time and have extra white teeth. But yeah.
The day he left was the day that France's Colgate shares crashed.
Exactly. All right, so before we go, Jeff, I have not forgotten your song. This is going to be our last song. I'm sorry, Elliot had picked Forest of Enchantment, but maybe we can play it next week. Jeff, what is your music? Sorry. What is your song?
So it's Mulan and the Ancestors from the 1998 show Mulan la Légende, which was at Videopolis Theatre, which was a really amazing show. You should definitely try and find it on YouTube because it involves a lot of acrobatics, and I think it's a really just amazing show. So go watch it because it's great, but here's some music from it.
So it's the entire show is about Mulan?
Of course, yeah.
Oh, wow. I wonder if I've seen it. What year was it again?
98 to, I think, 01-ish.
I might have missed that one. I don't know. All right. Good choice. Well, thank you, everyone. And welcome, Josh, to the chairman. Now he's going to get to deal with Paris.
Josh now looks over us as well.
Yeah, I mean, from a distance, but still, I think he's going to have quite an influence on a lot of choices that are going to be made in Paris, just like Chapek did back in the day. So, yeah. Good news. All right.
Please bring your passion for food, Josh.
Yes. And themed environment and street entertainment. I don't know. Let's not start the list. Maybe we can talk about it. Okay. In next week's show, we're going to work on a list of wishes for Josh. That'd be
wishes.
Cool. Yeah. Wishes. All right.
Next week is actually the 24-hour show.
On that note, have a good evening, and thank you everyone for joining, and we will see you next week.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.